crazy stuff that's been going on with Ryan Garcia. If I was in the position he was in and actually saw the things he's claiming he saw, I'd probably lose my mind, because he's saying that he got held down and watched kids get raped.
You can't just fully ignore what Ryan Garcia said. You could be peeling my skin off being like, deny Lord. Doesn't make any other sense to me to believe in anything else. When I compare what seems more fallible, God is by a mile. Wipes out the competition for me.
A lot of these celebrities, they talk about God, but they never say Jesus.
That is exactly why I said I want to listen to the video. Because he says God, but who's God?
There's people that are super self-righteous and think that they're better than others because they go to church.
Yeah, people going to churches gives them like a sense of narcissism, which is very wrong.
An entity that can create Earth and the whole universe out of nothing is beyond any sort of comprehension anyone on this planet has.
God judges each person uniquely, fairly, and justly.
Not just that it got struck by lightning, that it also took away the halo and it took away the keys.
That's a false shepherd. You
Literally,
can't say that.
Once that trust is broken, it's like breaking a plate. Trying to put a broken plate back together. Yeah. It might work the first time. It's still going to have the cracks in it.
Yeah, it's never going to recover.
Yeah, it's never going to be fully fixed. We're not going to be perfect all the time. So people are going to have mishaps. You're going to misstep and you're going to mess up. You have to be accepting of your partner and understand that that's going to happen now and then.
They like to go and fuck animals. You have to accept this. Like, this is reality. This is the way it's going to be. It's like, fucking no. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck,
it's probably a duck.
Yeah. Liberals always be pulling some accidental racism. It's like right now how they're doing the asylum homes in the East Coast where they're allowing immigrants to come move in. Mm-hmm. Dude, they're making them like indentured servants. Like, you can't leave. They get to cook and clean for the family. That's literally indentured servitude. Yeah. If you're a person who has any knowledge of this, like, the gospel, you can't, there's no way you can't say we're in the end of times. Like,
okay, what I'll say about that though is every generation's thought they're at the end of times. This is one of, if not the best episode I have done yet. I just had my buddy Elijah on for the second time, but this time we went insanely deep on religion, insanely deep on politics, insanely deep on so many different conspiracy theories. We talked about the Ryan Garcia situation and genuinely so much more. This is hands down one of my favorite episodes and definitely not going to be one that you want to miss. I hope y'all enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all.
I can see why even like some of the smaller podcast people have like, you know, studio niggas, just like a homie they even help, because like you have to like sometimes like mark like timestamps just in case you have to edit something out.
Like, it took me just to do all this, bro, and like I'm not even a professional by any means either. So, but it still takes like a solid minute setting it all up, bro.
Yeah, because you have to be savvy to all of it. Like you have to like have a baseline knowledge of how like fucking like set up the software for like this editing. Like that shit goes all so over my head. I don't even know.
Yeah, I just downloaded like a basic app like Audacity. I don't know if you've heard about that, but and then I for the soundboard I actually read the manual and learned everything about it, because when I was having the problems with the static, I was like literally just trying to figure out anything I could do to fix
fucking
that.
This is Five Nights at Freddy fucking audio, like ding, ding. It's fucking The audience is like, what the fuck's that background noise? You're gonna scare them.
Yeah,
can't have that happening.
So I guess we can start off with the Ryan Garcia stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm sure most of you guys have seen all the crazy stuff that's been going on with Ryan Garcia, and I'm gonna pull up some videos and show you those as well. But before we get onto that, basically just to give you a little rundown of it, if you haven't seen it, is Ryan Garcia's been making some crazy accusations, and it's just kind of seemed crazy the last like week. But from my perspective, I'm like, if I was in the position he was in and actually saw the things he's claiming he saw, I would probably be acting like that too, freaking out, trying to, like, I'd probably lose my mind, because he's saying that he got held down and watched kids get raped.
Raped. Yeah, the forbidden word, the forbidden fruit. What's it called? Yeah, Ryan Garcia. You know, the big thing with him is if you just look at examples of celebrities, people in his position where they claim that some people took him out and were eating kids, chopping kids up, just doing the most vile, demonic things possible. The first instinct of anyone is to be like, that person sounds like he's off their meds, they're crazy. It's really messed up, because it's just like, you got so many different people saying this. Ryan Garcia is not the first nigga to go and be all like, elites are fucking with me. These people are trying to like quiet me. There's so many people who have done that. You got like actors who get assassinated all the time from what it appears. And, I think in this day of age and like from what we've seen, this like how these rich and powerful people act, you can't just fully ignore what Ryan Garcia said. Like there's not enough evidence of what he's saying is true, but there's also not enough evidence what he's saying is not. That sounds kind of stupid, but
to disprove him.
Because like you're gonna want to bring up points of like he's doing it for clout. He's a clout chaser. Fucker's a millionaire. He has millions of dollars. Super famous boxer. Before any of this was even happening, I don't really even pay attention to Ryan Garcia that much. He appears in my feed once in a while. He's a pretty popular boxer. Just because he lost to Gervonta Davis doesn't mean no one still likes him. So like that's another. I just don't think someone would even do that for attention.
If you're doing that for attention, you know how crazy that's gonna sound.
You're kind of fucked up if you're doing that for attention.
And you know how like that can hurt your reputation with today's society. Like even speaking about the elites like that, because we all know that there definitely is higher ups behind some of this stuff. Even though it might seem like conspiracy theory, Alex Jones literally recorded the Bohemian Grove, so we know that's real. And
there's just lots of secret societies. There's a lot of different factions in secret societies. Like there's like an old guard and a new guard. Yeah, shit's weird.
With Ryan Garcia in particular, do you think that the Bohemian Grove's still a thing that people go to though?
People have
because I feel like
there have already been people. From what we know about Bohemian Grove currently, like for the current little rituals, the old location that Alex Jones originally exposed, like they abandoned that. You can still find the owl statue. Like I've seen videos of people like tracking it down. It's creepy because like it's pretty much like this. Everything's gone, but in the middle of the forest, there's this fucking giant effigy of like an owl god. So that shit's pretty fucking weird. So like. I guess you could say, like, they probably just changed the location. Like, it doesn't have to be in the forest. He exposed that shit 20 years ago. They'd probably just do that shit at parties now.
So I wanted to pull up a few of the videos that I saw of Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, for sure.
So after the Ryan Garcia thing happened yesterday and the Drake Bell thing, Ryan has been dropping a ton of cryptic tweets on Twitter, even hinting at an earthquake coming. This is all alleged, all speculation. So this is real. I screenshotted it myself from his profile about an hour ago. And he says, June 6th, earthquake bad, all capital BAD. And don't forget, we have that giant X eclipse coming in April. Also, the giant Xing out of America eclipse is actually pinpointed on a fault line. And a few minutes after the first bad earthquake tweet, he put out, earthquake will strike LA, destroy Hollywood and Vegas, aka Sin City. Now, this tweet was not on his page when I went to take screenshots. It was in the comments from other people who took the screenshots. So I cannot tell you for a fact that this one was him or it was not him. And after that, he literally says they actually have the files of Jesus, the Ark of the Covenant, the giants, the aliens, files and everything. They are the ones that let me in. They played themselves. Ryan, I don't know you, but I think I like you. Now, I can't show what's behind my head, but he's also calling out the Catholic Church. Then he tweeted, sounding the trumpets, those who had an ear to understand, one of them were sounded off in 2021 early. And right behind me, he's saying anyone remaining silent in these matters is a coward. Then he says something I can't say on TikTok. Then around the same time, he says how slick I was going in and coming out with the files. And then he said, slowly you guys will understand who I actually am. Then a little bit before that, he says, it just keeps rolling in and y'all don't have to believe they took me here, but I don't have to prove anything to you. You aren't the one having their whole family threatened. And then followed right by, I love God, my kids, I love Jesus, I'm healthy, I don't have any medical issues for the record. Oh, and one of the craziest ones, I forgot to save it, but I saw a screenshot where Ryan Garcia had tweeted, Elon Musk is the Antichrist. So it's getting wild. I'm just waiting to see who he aligns himself with. Unfortunately, in this industry, you don't know who is serious until it's too late. So keep Ryan in your prayers.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, so the thing of the eclipse, April 8th, I'm pretty sure. Have you heard about the red heifer prophecy of Israel? Mm-mm. So, they say like the kind of marked the start of the rapture. Israel has to find a pure, unblemished red cow. And recently they've been outsourcing to like Texas, Tennessee, and they've already have 4 candidates for the perfect red heifer. So coming April 8th, they're going to do sacrifices. And that in the Bible is literally supposed to like hard kickstart prophecy. And there's a fucking solar eclipse that day. That is scary. Like, what the fuck? My mom was telling me I should like just take off work. Like, I should even go to work that day. For me, no, the Bible says no one will know when the rapture will happen. Mm-hmm. No one will be able to pinpoint the date. All we can go off is seasons. Because, like, there are times...
Well, that's what the Bible talks in. It talks in times of seasons. It doesn't necessarily give years.
Yeah, so, like, we could say... I mean, I think if you're a person who has any knowledge of this, like, the gospel, you there's no way you can't say we're in the end of times. Like,
okay, what I'll say about that, though, is every generation's thought they're at the end of times.
That is fair, but... The thing is, like, back then, they were thinking that because, like, sickness was taking them all out. Things that were way out of their control, like weather, like this animals, they're getting killed by, like, wolves. And because, like, in the Midwest, they would always think they were all, like, in the Wild West, they always like, thought they were in the rapture because of how violent things were, because all the wars happening at that time. But, yeah, that is a fair argument, but... Well, that also goes into, like, how, like, they say civilization resets every 70 years, 80 years? Yeah. That's also kind of weird.
Well, that's... Okay, the 80-year cycle is the cycle of, like, society, and that varies from country to country. Like, we're at the end of an 80-year cycle for America where we're supposedly about to get into hard times, because it's, like, a hard times and easy times. And it's like the hard times create strong men, strong men create good times create weak men, and that's a cycle that happens every 80 years. Mm. And we've been in good times ever since World War II, really.
Oh yeah, we've been super complacent. Yeah.
So we're at the end of the 80-year cycle. 2020 was the end of the 80-year cycle, I think, or 2022. And now it's like, okay, that's why you see all the things happening in society right now. We have really weak men. Our society doesn't have a lot of strong men like it used to.
I don't know. Society is just like, I think, has this kind of like, since we're so comfortable, and then this also society, like, they want to create a culture of this accepting literally anything and everything, no matter what it is, no matter how deprived it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. That's just.
I saw a crazy stat. In 2007. There was 2 known cases of kids under 18 years old, a part of the LGBTQ community. Mm-hmm. As of last year, 30% of all kids under 18 years old aligned with the LGBTQ community. Isn't that insane?
How could something like that rise so hard? I mean, I guess you could say it's way more accepted. Oh yeah, it's way more accepted now. Throughout everything.
So kids are so malleable, right?
Yes.
And so by even talking about it and introducing it to kids that young of an age, you put that thought in their head, porn. And they're gonna start to align with that. Like, you can tell a kid, if a kid's raised in an environment, they're gonna a lot of times be a product of that environment.
Well, yeah, it's like why kids adopt racism. Yeah, it's just why kids adopt, like, weird cultic fucking behavior. So, yeah, because they're literally they're getting all this outside information, absorbing it, and deciding who they want to be with it. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, you know what the big problem is too? These fucking millennial parents, bro. These 30-year-olds and like 40-year-olds who are millennials, that generation's fucking cooked, bro. Yeah. I think Gen Z...
Well, our generation's going to be even more cooked.
Nah, I think we're better than millennials. I think what's worse is fucking the Gen X or Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha. The kids... Gen Alpha's like 13-year-olds, preteens and anyone under right now are all like Gen Alpha, I'm pretty sure.
And we're Gen Z, right?
Yeah. But no, like millennials, fucking... Just think about the millennials. Millennials are people born in like the 90s. Mm-hmm. You know, they're old enough for when all this like LGBTQ stuff started really kicking off. They were at the full force of that shit, bro. Yeah. That's like how Generation X is kind of known for, the first generation, like, where like rap like being rebellious, music, drugs, like that kind of comes from Gen X. Those are like our grandparents. I think it's our grandparents. Like their great grandparents are boomers now, but yeah, fucking with millennials, they just got to social justice, and then they just adopt all these crazy fucking philosophies like handing out abortion fucking pamphlets at schools and shit. Like that's straight.
The problem is that all these millennials, not all of them, a lot of liberal millennials have this savior complex. They feel the need that people need saving. And
white saviors, yeah.
It's a lot of white people, white liberals have this huge savior complex and think they need to go save everyone else.
They're all like, black people sell drugs because they can't get normal jobs.
Exactly. Like, and to think that you need to save someone automatically puts them below you in your mind. Yeah. So that's inherently kind of racist.
No, they're always
liberals to think that.
Liberals always be pulling some accidental racism. It's like right now how they're doing the asylum homes in the East Coast where they're allowing immigrants to come move in. Dude, they're making them like indentured servants. Like you can't leave. You get to cook and clean for the family. That's literally indentured servitude. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, liberals are backing that. That's literally they're fucking going back to the 1860s, bro.
Speaking of that too, while we're on the topic of liberals, liberals. I forget the lady's name, but they're also the ones who created Planned Parenthood. And
Margaret
abortion.
Singer, yeah.
She created abortion and created Planned Parenthood, and her whole reasoning behind doing it was to abolish all black people, all people of color.
Abortion. Okay, so abortion culturally, it's been around for a long time. Like women in India, Native American women practiced it because back in the day they would just like drink poison or something. But like with Planned Parenthood, that is completely rooted in racism. Margaret Singer would back in the day, it was like I think Margaret Singer might be it's pre-World War II. She would met up with the leaders of I guess you could say like black culture back then, like the people who were like running black-owned universities, like the Belay Society, that some black-owned little secret societies up in the East Coast and like Cleveland and places like that. Margaret Singer met up with those guys and like was able to establish the first Planned Parenthood centers in like places like fucking Black Harlem and like the Bronx, like the blackest areas possible. Like that's not an accident. And then I'm pretty sure like abortion, the word itself, like what they used to call it back then, is insanely racist. I can't remember the term exactly. Might have to look it up and try to and put that in somewhere. But yeah.
And what's sad is the plan actually kind of is working.
Oh, like dude, black people are like the highest ones. So, they get like 9 abortions, like casually.
What happened? The stats exactly are black females have abortion at a 4-to-1 rate compared to white females.
Yeah.
And so out of every 1,000 pregnancies for black women, there's like 436 abortions, and for every 1,000 pregnancies for white women, there's like 1,000 something abortions. So it's a 4-to-1 rate and on top of that, with that 4-to-1 rate, black people only make up 30% of the population too.
Yeah, there's a lot less black people than people think. They think that it's like there's like 50%. No, America's still very diverse in like the statistics of like people like the races that live here. But another thing with like abortion too, like since this is public, I want to say like I'm not condemning you if you get an abortion. It's all up to you. But it's just like you have to acknowledge that. The fact that Margaret Singer are trying to push it on the black people so hard, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, it is completely rooted in racism.
No, yeah.
And same goes for me. Go do what you want. I have personal views about it, but at the end of the day, like you have your own choice. And I understand there are circumstances where it could be accepted. Like I'm not 100% against abortion, but just so you guys know, that is where abortion is rooted from. It's absolutely rooted in racism. So
yeah, for sure. And also, if like let's get into like how like you can say liberals support. I don't. You know what? Seems like for me, liberals and Democrats, like liberals like to fucking get at Democrats for wanting to control or liberals get at Republicans for wanting to control everything. They want to fucking control our bodies. We live in a fucking paradox. It's literally if you're Republicans and Democrat, at least the ones on mainstream, they both want to control everyone. It's like they're both just wanting to control everything, and then they're all working for the same people. It's so funny that, and you can make politics your identity in this day and age of all the information about, like, all the information accessible to you. Just how crooked and how all these politicians literally have zero interest for like your well-being. Mm-hmm. Like I like, you know, I got an argument with your friend that one night because I was like, fuck being into politics, fuck voting. Why are you voting?
It's like a positive evil, right?
Yeah.
Because I think back in 2016 when Trump got elected is when everyone got into politics, really. Like even the kids got into politics at that time.
Dude, you see like 12-year-olds right now making, you need to be...
Exactly.
Yeah, that's insane.
When Trump got elected, regardless what you think of him, that's when everything became so politically diverse. Mm-hmm. And that's when everyone's adopted such strong feelings and emotions towards politics. And personally, I'm a Trump supporter. But that he did divide the country. I wouldn't say him personally. It's the people who align themselves with a political party is what divided the country. And I also don't think, as a country, we should align to political parties so much.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't see how this being, you don't see Republicans being like liberals. I want to welcome you into our party. You don't see Republicans being like, hey, maybe we can tone some stuff down for you guys so you guys can. No, it's like you're either 100% with us or you're 100% against us. And then like, that's just never going to work. Nothing ever. If you want to set up ultimatums like that, no one's going to agree to ultimatums.
I don't really feel like it's like that. I feel like that's more so of a liberal thing, honestly.
A lot of Republicans, at least ones I know, are like that. Like, you have to kind of be, like, I'm talking like old white guys.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like old white guys. I'm newer. Cool. Well, here's the thing of like Democrat and Republican too. There's like so many terms. Like, you can be a conservative Democrat. Like, that's a thing. There's subsects or sub-parties to those two main parties. Like, those are like top of the umbrella. There's like multiple different classes of each.
I guess when I think of liberals, I just think like someone who's genuinely
like a liberal and a Democrat are different. Like, definition-wise, at least.
Yeah. When I think of a leftist, they are completely opposed to the opposite side. Like if you view anything different than them, they think you're a terrible person, and they just try and like shit talk you and say that you're trying to control them and whatnot. And I feel like Republicans a lot of times are a lot more open to communication, at least, like to debates. Like if you look at online, there's so many more Republicans and conservatives.
Yeah, I will give the Republican conservatives those debates. They are usually the more calmer party for sure. Like 9 times out of 10, like usually they're not the ones getting screamed at. That is fair. Well, I don't even really want to say like being a liberal caters to like those people who just seem like they're fucking mentally off their rocker, but
it does, dude.
If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck,
it's probably a duck.
Yeah, there's so many videos of those niggas fucking going full schizo, just losing their minds, screaming, crying, dyeing their hair all crazy. I don't fucking know, dude.
From what I've seen, it seems to me as if liberals tend to act a lot more emotionally, and conservatives tend to act a lot more logically. Now, obviously, there's cases where that's not the case. However, I do feel like a lot of liberal arguments are based off emotional, and a lot of conservative arguments are based off logical.
I have no problem if you're a liberal or Republican or anything, because like I've told you, I've exited out. I consider myself, I've executed my. But here's my thing of like liberals, like what is the big thing on like pushing acceptance? Mm-hmm. They just want you to be like, you have to accept this. Like, this is reality. This is the way it's going to be. It's like, fucking no.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can make a reality. I don't know, man. It's just like, I just hate how like
some dumb, really, like I just heard this thing of there's this new group of people called child attracted people. Or children attracted people.
Minor attracted person.
Minor attracted person.
MAPS, yeah. Well, back in the day, there was NAMBLA, which was like National Association of Men Loving Boys. Like, these people have been around, but keep going, yeah.
Like, these people are going on college campuses and trying to basically say how pedophilia is okay.
Yeah.
And trying to promote pedophilia. And that's just crazy to me. That is insane. And that's the whole thing with the acceptance thing, like you were saying. The more that we accept all this, the LGBTQ plus 2A, all this extra stuff. I'm not saying there's a difference between a lesbian and a gay person to the trans person, and the more deep it goes, because eventually
gay people hella hate this shit. Like there's a lot of gay people where they'll be like, no, this shit's fucking loon. Like I agree. Like it's what's fucked up is then trans people and all the other like a hard extreme trying to lump gay people with them. It's like, that's not fair.
Yeah, exactly. It's a steep curve, bro. Like it just keeps going down and down and down, and the more accepting
it keeps getting the more depraved. Like, all right, first accept me liking dudes. All right, can I cut my wiener off?
Yeah, it's basically seeing how much they can get away with.
Can I fuck dogs? All right, we'll allow that. All right.
You know, there's some states where that's legal.
Yeah, here, Washington State.
It's legal in Washington State.
Spokane, Washington. There's ranches that are famous for zoophiles. That's the term for these people. They like to go and fuck animals. There is, I'm pretty sure, a famous crime. There was a big drug lord who had a ranch there. One of his side operations was he was filming bestiality videos and like having like people come and fuck him, and the FBI put a stop to that. Just some sick, twisted. Here's my thing. America is like how Sodom and Gomorrah was back in the Bible, of how there's such a big drive towards sexual acceptance, like how prostitutes being like, sluts are gonna rule the world. Like, fuck that bullshit. You know, sexual immorality is just such such a divisive weapon. It's been a divisive weapon back in the days of when Jezebel took over Jerusalem. She was married to the king of Jerusalem at the time, but then this is like, it's kind of, I'm self-instilling a little. The prophet I'm named after, Elijah, what happened was he pretty much had to be a vigilante and back in his day, because all the priests that are originally for God, all the people that are originally for God, Israel became such a state of like lust. They started like taking out all the previous altars of God and replacing them with false idols. That's where the idol Baal comes from, which is literally just the devil. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just a different name. Yeah, and Jezebel instituted Baal in Jerusalem, and then Elijah had to come and fucking literally like take out her soldiers, like fucking like literally kill her soldiers. It's like he was literally like a hero back in the day, like a vigilante. One of my favorite stories, if you guys have never read it. But like, no, America has so many parallels to how this, how like they describe like nations of sin, nations of like sexual immoralness. It's just like, there's no coincidence that all these things get pushed on us. I don't know, it's just weird, you know? It's just like, as time goes by, we get complacent, we forget our old values. And that's the thing too, though, is traditions aren't always good. There are things that should come to an end, but still, there are things that they were stated, you know, as a rule for a reason.
Well, the thing with like sexual immorality is that there's literally evidence that says the more people you hook up with, the less you're going to be able to pair bond with a partner eventually, because every time you hook up with someone, your brain creates oxytocin, and part of your body, like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, but every time you hook up with someone, you are connecting with that person on a deep, intimate level. And the more people you do that with, the less it's going to mean to you eventually. And the less you're going to, like, say you hook up with 20 people and you go to get married. That person you get married to, you're going to have a not as deep as a connection with them, because you've already done it with 20 other people. You've already allowed yourself in with that many other people, and you're not able to pair bond and connect with them on as deep of a level as you could have.
You know, I mean, that goes into like, you know, a lot of people just don't even know either the reason to get married. They think it's out of love. Like, what is love to you? And like, love is just such a weird word. I think there's multiple categories of love, and like in this day of age, you know, most people, they've had sex with so many different partners. you know, that word gets really skewed. Like, what does that mean? Does love just mean you like how a girl's body looks? Because if that's the reason, if that's the basis you're marrying someone off, how is that ever gonna work? That's why I always like to tell people when they're like, I'm in love. I'm a fucking humbug, like the fucking Scrooge. I'm just like, no, you're not. You don't love that person. That shit's not real. It's literally, it's fantasy. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But I have a big tangent on that. But,
I definitely think people can love people. I think it's definitely taken out of or way out of proportion nowadays. Everyone says it, and
it's like the word. It's like hate. Love carries just as much weight as hate, but we throw around those words so much.
The problem is, it would hold a lot more weight today if people actually stood by their partners in times of need, in times of desperation. People are so quick to leave relationships.
Oh, like,
nowadays.
My husband just got cancer. I'm leaving him. Yeah.
People are so quick. The thing is,
or even like my wife, dudes. I shouldn't say that, because dudes will leave their family just how a woman will leave their family. There's many cases. Yeah.
We are all sinners, regardless, and we're not going to be perfect all the time. So people are going to have mishaps. You're going to misstep and you're going to mess up, and you have to be accepting of your partner and understand that that's going to happen now and then. Now, there's circumstances where a certain mess up can lead to the end of it. Like if a partner cheats on you, for example.
That should be for me.
You can
cheating's
walk away
the final
100%.
straw.
Yeah,
I don't even think you should take them back ever.
Exactly. No, because once that trust is broken, it's like breaking a plate. Trying to put a broken plate back together. Yeah. It might work the first time. It's still going to have the cracks in it.
Yeah, it's never going to recover.
Yeah, it's never going to be fully fixed.
Never.
That's the problem. And if it happens a second time, you're not fixing that plate. It's going to be completely shattered to slivers, and you're not going to be able to find every piece. Yeah, you can sure as hell try, but it's never going to be fully repaired. It's the same thing for a relationship. If you break that trust, you're never going to be able to fully repair it.
Yeah, it could be a cast iron pan. You got to be able to do something, not like a ceramic. You got to be able to get them dents out, shatter into 1,000 pieces. It's too hard to recover.
Exactly.
That's what you're going to do to your heart when you get your heart broken by these hoes.
Another word that I think is very up to your own perception is good. The word good. The word good can mean so many different things, and it's a human construct. So if you aren't religious, the word good genuinely means absolutely nothing.
No.
And the reason I say that is because if Hitler were to succeed in winning World War II, what we thought of as good today, we would think that killing all the Jews was a good thing. Because that's what would have been taught to us.
Yeah.
If Hitler would have won.
Well, morality, the thing about morality is you can be like, well, I heard a really good argument for this today. Well, matter of fact, I was literally watching videos. The one guy who was speaking is I don't know his name, but I've seen some. He's almost like Cliff. He's not Cliff, but he's similar. He's a really smart guy who's also a believer. Yeah. And he was saying like, well, for me, I have a guidebook for my basis of reality. That's the Holy Bible. Yeah. You know, if you truly believe that it's been around for all this time and that it's fallible, and like that's what you got. And then even then, like there's multiple cases where like we're like you can take literally the Aztecs, Spanish for example. They were literally committing human sacrifices. There is a fertility ritual where they would have the prettiest girl of that village walk around. They would parade her. Then the head Aztec priest would literally slit her throat, skin her, and parade in the girl's skin. You know who saw that? What? The conquistadors, Hernan Cortez, for the Spanish conquistadors. And they were like, holy shit, these people are evil. So that's why they went super extreme. And then like the countries like Papua New Guinea, they have super horrific rituals involving like kids and you know what got rid of that? Missionaries, Christianity. And then you can also say like, oh, well then the priests like to molest kids and all that. Oh, look how much evil came from that. Well, that's Catholicism. That's the Catholic Church. There's a lot of things that can go on that. Let's just say this on this podcast, we don't endorse the Catholic Church. At least, do you?
I mean, I don't know enough about it. Really.
I mean,
all I know is about like the Pope, that all that like just happened. That
Pope Francis,
thing I just talked to you about the other night, where Pope Francis basically said that gay marriage should be allowed throughout the whole world.
Dude, he fucking endorses Islam. He says during the days of revelations, Islam will be part of God's chosen people. That's not in the scripture. And all the thing that I don't support the Roman Catholicism Vatican. Yeah, you could be Catholic. I'm sorry if you're even saying that. Yeah, the Roman Catholic Church, specifically the Vatican City, that sect. If you even go inside the Vatican, there's a bunch of paganistic sculptures and statues and shit's. Yeah,
Weren't you saying that the Vatican is also like the highest up thing in the church community? Or?
Yes,
okay,
the Vatican has jurisdiction, like everything church, like God related, like anything.
Like that's basically supposed to be like God communicating.
Dude, they can decide the canon. Like they can take out books in the Bible. Like today, they can be like, Genesis is not canon. They just have the jurisdiction to do that because they've done it. There's like 33 books in the Bible that have been taken out that we don't know about. Allegedly, there's been leaks, but
what do you think about like the Book of Epoch? Have you heard anything about that?
Do
you know anything about that?
The Book of Epoch. Well, let's hear about it. I don't think I do.
No, I don't really know anything.
Do you mean Enoch?
Or maybe that's
I think it's the Book of Enoch you're saying. Yeah, because
it's like
I've heard of the Book of Enoch, and that's basically talking about
CH, right?
The reason why that's such a big deal and why that's really controversial is because it talks a lot about demons and giants. Because Enoch existed in the days of giants pre-flood. Yeah. Well, that's really. There's also like the Book of Solomon, which is like demonology that gets into like the 7 deadly sins and stuff. I don't know. Here's my thing about knowledge like that. I mean, those fuckers had such good imagination if they were just making that shit up. Like, gosh,
that goes for everything in the Bible, though.
Yeah.
Really, if you read the Bible, how can you even think it like write that stuff the way it's written? Like that's what people say. Like there's very few books literature that even compares. Like the Bible is just such a crazy epic. Yeah. Back to the Pope though. Once he condemned and said that gay marriage should be legalized throughout the whole world.
That's a false shepherd. You can't say that. As a leader.
As the highest Pope, like the highest Christian Catholic person.
He just said a sin's okay. Like you can say, I accept gay people worldwide because you kind of have to if you're a pastor.
Yeah.
Because you have to accept people into, like, you have to be like, oh, because you have to help the person.
Yeah.
Like, you have to like the person to help them. But being like, I accept homosexuality, you're accepting a sin. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally within a week of him saying that, I don't know if it was actually a week. I know it was within a certain amount of time, not very long after he said that. Pope Francis, right?
Yes.
His statue got struck by lightning.
Removed his halo and the keys of the kingdom.
And the keys. And the halo represents holiness, and the keys represent
the keys to heaven.
Authority.
Yeah, sign of authority. Like you have like jurisdiction through God. God gave you jurisdiction to be able to cast out demons, be able to prophesize. Yeah, nah.
And I just want you guys to think about this.
A lightning strike couldn't have hit anywhere.
This statue has been up for years. And it's never been struck by lightning. And then after he condemns something,
I think the correct word would be like he condones.
Yeah, condones. After he condones and allows this thing, says that it should be allowed all throughout the world, allowing a sin, that's when it got struck by lightning. And not just that it got struck by lightning, that it also took away the halo and it took away the keys. That is just
He's not the
insane.
first. Well, here's the thing. He's not even the first pope where something weird has happened like that. There's this one pope that died. His body started turning like necrotic and turned black in like 2 days. That's not.
That is weird.
Fully decomposed. He was popes have a very big history of being very evil. Like back in the times of the Crusades, the pope during that time said to kill a Muslim was to enter the kingdom of heaven, to commit murder, which is heavily against the 10 Commandments. See. To be a true believer, you have to 100% believe the 10 Commandments. Even if, like, you're a soldier, you have to uphold that thou shalt not kill. That's just fact. But here's the thing about that. If you would go into the true meaning of thou shalt not kill, it talks about, like, killing another man, killing another human, unjustified, unself-defense, murder. You can kill in self-defense.
Justifiable.
Yeah. Like let's say like someone's trying to kill your family. Defend yourself. And also, that goes into another thing, but like this, that goes into what I was trying to say, like popes is doing evil shit like this. That's just my big pet problem with this Roman Catholicism. Its roots in history, how they were trying to have people paid again to heaven. You know, there's a reason. Like Jesus was going around flipping tables for that when people were saying up like fucking loan shits in church like that. That's lots of parallel between that and now. You know, I truly believe there's like law of I'd say a major percentages of churches got it completely wrong and are just completely lost the plot. They're either worried about clout, getting followers so they can get more money in turn. They use it as a way to avoid taxes. And then they just allow really bad stuff. Like this, not like bad stuff. Like fucking, they just allow shit that contradicts their teachings. Like, I know, I'm not trying to, let me get this. I am no better than a gay person. I am a sinner. I have no problem if you're gay. But like, okay, gay pastors, that's a fucking paradox. Like the fact that you can sit there and be like, there's like four different verses in the Bible that talk about condemning homosexuality and how it's bad, but it's a false shepherd. Pastors aren't prophets, because you're leading your flock astray by teaching them.
A false anointed one then.
Yeah, you can, and then you would be like, I rebuke you. That's because of your and then there's crazy ass video of this one guy. He was like it was at this one church where the lady was a pastor, and he was like, hey, I'm visiting from another church, and he's like, yeah, I rebuke you. Like he just said that to the lady in her face and said like, you're not, like, you're false, and like they just kicked him out. It was crazy, but not like, you know what's funny about that too, rebuking is like, technically I'm pretty sure me and you, like, we're not even, like, according to the Bible, like we don't even have like the authority to rebuke someone like that. That's only given to like certain people and God. Yeah, that's another thing.
Doesn't it say that that's a one unforgivable sin though, is to rebuke Jesus?
Well, to rebuke God, but like, rebuking the pastor is not rebuking Jesus. Like if I were,
I know, but not accepting Jesus into your life is the only unforgivable sin.
Yes,
regardless.
Well, yeah, because you've accepted. So here's the thing about hell, and here's the thing about doing that. The cause full separation from yourself and God is super hard. Well, depends what you think about super hard. Like, to really create full separation from you and God, you gotta be a very vile, wicked person, probably. You know, like, because it's not even like, here's the thing about what the Bible says. Because people like to say, like, well, how about people who live in, like, you know, secluded, like, or, excuse me.
Does he
isolated islands, like, how are those people ever even get a chance? Like, it's almost like they're condemned from the start. But the thing, what the Bible says is, God judges each person uniquely, fairly, and justly. Like, if who you are, you're getting your unique judgment on every second of your life. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't matter if you went to church or not. God knows who you are deep down in your heart. So the thing of that, what was I about to go into? Oh yeah, like rebuking God. Like, yeah, that's just, yeah, you gotta like really be like, I hate God. And like pretty much be like a full-blown Satanist. Mm. And even then, there are Satanists who like literally come to God. Yeah. So just think about that. Even Satanists will be like, there's so many testimonies of like ex-Satanists and ex-people who like practice dark shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's just
what does it take to even become a pope?
A pope?
You know. Like
there's a lot of ranks. There's like bishop, cardinal, priest. Gotcha. It's just doing things that like will just increase your standing, like just doing like missions and like, I don't know exactly how you rise to pope. I'm pretty sure you have to be like born into it. They're like, you have to be like recruited, like only like, well, like what the Vatican does too is like for example, like the soldiers, you have to be born from like a certain city to even be a soldier for them. And ain't even a city there. Like they recruit from like a faraway town. It's weird. Yeah. Weird traditions I'm not really too familiar with, unfortunately. But
another reason, a big thing is that people tend to ask and say that it's a fairy tale and that they don't understand why God hurts innocent people, and if God is real, why would he let people get cancer and die, and just all this stuff. One thing that we talked about in church one day is that there are no good people. Everyone is a sinner. So everyone is equal in that sense, that everyone sins and everyone is a bad person. in the eyes of God. And basically, in order to make it to heaven, you have to believe and you have to act in accordance to God, to the best to your capability, because he understands, like you said, he's just in all his decision making. And
there's a lot of things that can also go into that. Like you can also say like that person might have had some like generational stuff on their family. Like, are you familiar with the term like generational curses?
Yeah, no, generational trauma I've heard of.
Well,
but
generational
I feel like that's
curses,
just like victimization.
Yeah, generational curses is like though that person's family member did some really bad stuff, like maybe like rape someone. You can beat that. Rape someone, committed the R word, and like that person will have like curses fall upon their family. Well, because there's also examples of this happening in the Bible. Like maybe that person, like they're down the line, like their like great grandkid will just come out messed up, or something bad will happen. Well, here's an example of that happening. Like for example, you know David and Goliath. So you know how David like eventually became like king of like the Israelites.
Yeah.
So while he was king, he ended up getting one of his like his generals killed because he lusted over that guy's wife. So what happened after that is David's son ended up raping his own sister. Like this went crazy, and David was like, gosh, and like he ended up having like to beg God. He's like, Lord, give me a clean heart. Like he had to apologize. Yeah, like there's, things like if you do some down dirt, karma's real. Like it's just down dirt's gonna come back to you, and unfortunately, you can just be a victim of that indirectly, according to this evidence, honestly. But with babies being born with Down syndrome and stuff, there's no really, I can't just say like that's the case, but that's always something kind of interesting to think about, like generational curses, is because you can break those curses, and that's what going to church and repenting and recognizing that. Yeah.
One thing also, when people say that they don't understand God, it's like, how could you? How
oh my gosh, dude.
No one can even comprehend God.
All right, so how do you think, what do you think God looks like to you in your head? Do you see him as a man? Do you see him as an animal?
Definitely not a man.
Do you see him as
animal?
A wide presence?
This is something that is beyond even my
God,
comprehension. I have no comprehension.
God, okay.
None of you have any comprehension. An entity that can create Earth and the whole universe out of nothing is beyond any sort of comprehension anyone on this planet has.
We see things on a third dimensional scale, which means we have depth perception, we have spatial awareness, we can see objects, we can see through objects. That's called being on a third dimension scale. God is like a millionth like a dimension being, where he is able to see things from what he's omnipotent. He gets to see what are like. Just think about that. Your presence is so wide, so powerful, so like God exists throughout every inch of the universe that we know of. He exists on multiple planes of existence. He exists in heaven. He exists on just think about that. Think about how and then people want to be like, well, who created God? It's like you can't comprehend that. You can't.
And these are things that the Bible doesn't answer.
Yeah, because the Bible never said that it needs to give us all the answers.
Exactly.
That's not promised.
It's just like in history book. I'm sure
there's plot holes everywhere.
There's going to be little things, a part of history books, that you don't have the answer to. Like there's just nothing is fully complete ever. And so
just because there's gaps in history doesn't disavow it.
Exactly.
That's what Cliff says. Yeah. It's like just because you don't know doesn't mean it never happened. Yeah.
Just to even try and comprehend God is impossible.
To say that
it's genuinely impossible. And one of my big things is people argue about the Big Bang Theory, and that just seems so. In order for us to be here right now,
how could matter come from nothing? How could matter
come from nothing? Absolutely nothing.
How? That's a paradox within itself. That's a what's the word? An oxymoron.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear niggas need to hear themselves saying that bullshit. Oh, a speck of matter blew up. Like how? Where did the matter come from? That's why it's called a theory. That's just here's my thing. Niggas also need to be humble. You as let's say I'm talking to some 25. You're a 25-year-old atheist who thinks you know more than things that have been established for thousands of years, beliefs that have been held for thousands of years. Like, I'm gonna choose all like malevolent, all knowing, all powerful God over some guy who only lived till 60, who came up with some theory, like Charles Darwin, for example, the guy who created the Darwinism, evolution. All he would do for his experiments were like this, would like watch animals like from like the point where they were babies until they died, and he would then fill in the dots of how like some animals were related to each other. But even on his deathbed, he said the most likely cause of life was God. And then the most scientists say the most likely, there has to be intelligent design. So I don't know. I think in this day of age, especially, me and you were talking about this, how we were seeing more people come to God, and there's probably not a coincidence for that, you know.
Yeah, I definitely feel like a lot more people are starting to go to church and start to become religious and open up. And
almost like all my friends.
Open to the fact.
Yeah. Well, then like crazy. All you need to do is here's the problem. The people who just don't know, they don't know. And like all they need to do is just be exposed to that information that someone needs to tell them. That's the thing of missionaries. That's the whole thing of someone needs to spread the gospel. Yeah.
The thing too is a lot of people think that you have to go to church to be a believer, and that's not the case whatsoever.
No, the concept of, okay, no, that's not true. Churches existed back then, but the concept of like you have to go to church in order to be saved is completely man-made. It's like how being religious is a man-made thing. It's like how being the word Christian is a man-made thing, but that's a whole nother argument. Yeah.
So the church, the way I look at it is, the pastor is just another sinner like you, spreading the message. And if you do go to church, it's the whole point of church is to go and learn and to give time to God.
Yeah.
But you can give time to God and learn
anywhere.
On your own. Yeah. Anywhere and on your own time. You don't need to go to church and listen to someone else in order to give that time and build that relationship.
Yes, that's a big thing people need to understand. But it's just like like I said, churches have lost the plot. Like it's so much different now. Like they act like it's like an after school club, you know? Yeah.
Another big problem with churches that I think a lot of people have the same, they don't want to go to church because of this, is there's people that are super self-righteous and think that they're better than others because they go to church.
Yeah, people going to churches gives them like a sense of narcissism, which is very wrong, because they're no better than the worst sinner. That's the thing. People who go to church are no better than the worst person you know. I mean, you can say like they are like technically, but like this thing, they do stuff every day that everyone lies, everyone cheats, everyone does that bad. They have no right to judge a person attempting to better their life.
Yeah.
Churches that like to pass that sort of judgment, really, that's something that gets me very, very, very upset. Really boils my blood when I think about that. It's just like, who are you? What right did you earn?
We were talking about this too, is that you said something about you thought they were evil, and I was like, okay, well, who are you to judge? And then you said, okay, I get that, I get what you're saying, but people will also weaponize that nowadays. The who are you, like, because you're equal, you're a sinner too. You were saying how people tend to weaponize that statement now.
Yes, that's true.
And I never thought about it like that, because in my point, when I look at it, I'm like, well, who am I to judge? Because I'm a sinner just like they are. But then that could also be used to weaponize against and basically allow people to sin.
Well, that's the thing with this words, man. It depends on your meaning behind something, you know? Like it's that phrase. I guess it just depends on your intent of that. That's just the thing of the language. It all depends on the intent of something. Yeah, so that definitely, that is a divisive tool for some people. But at the same time, it definitely needs to apply to some people.
Yeah.
It's like how I think empathy. Like, people try to be like, feel bad for me. Like, you're just using that as a weapon.
Yeah, when people look for sympathy, that's annoying, dude. Like, I'm friends with this one drug addict on Facebook, for example.
Yeah. And
drug addiction is so self-imposed, and to me, it is not a disease whatsoever. People that say drug addiction is a disease that just doesn't. People with actual diseases, if they had the choice to up and quit one day, they would. Like, I know it's obviously not that easy for a drug addict to quit anytime they want. However, they still have the option to do so. Someone with someone with HIV can't just quit HIV if they want one day.
Yeah, I don't think I would necessarily call drug addiction a disease either. I mean, yeah.
But this person, anyways, on Facebook, every day they're posting about like just looking for sympathy. Like they'll say, "Oh, I'm 5 days clean," and then the next day they're like, "Oh, I got high again."
Yeah, putting it out there for people to
and then
see
there's
and
like
being
40
like,
people.
me.
40 people are always.
I don't like that. I don't
always
like that
commenting
shit.
on it, like, "Oh, you'll get through this. You got this."
That's like when people post like their disabled kids or something like bad, or like that's how. I hate sympathy points, like sympathy begging, being like, "Guys, my situation." Like there are people who are like, "I get it." Like your house burnt down, I get that.
It's people playing the victim card, dude.
But,
I hate that. It's like own up to your own actions.
I see a lot of sympathy people of like breakups and shit, like relationships, or people, or them trying to spew a story, making them sound like the victim. Yeah, that shit's
annoying.
Yeah, very annoying, very dishonest.
I want to wrap it back up to what originally started this conversation, back to the Ryan Garcia thing, because we never finished on that. I wanted to go back to the video of him apologizing when he was wearing the crown of thorns.
Yes.
What exactly does the crown of thorns represent?
Well, that clearly represents a mocking of Jesus. Who else would ever do that? Because he's wearing like normal clothes, and it looks like it's like improvised. It just looks like someone really shoved it on his head.
Yeah.
And then like the way he's talking, the way he's looking, his body language, everything just seems so off.
So I'm gonna play that video one time.
Yes.
And I'm gonna put it on there as
Here
well.
to announce my return back to Instagram. Now, over these past couple of days, you guys have seen some pretty intense things. I understand what they are, and I understand what they look like. But I'm coming back to announce I'm not going to speak on any other topic other than boxing, sports, and my fight.
Yeah, because that's what you better fucking speak
talking
on.
about.
Yeah.
And I'm training for this fight. I want everybody to know this fight's still on.
You can tell
420,
it's scripted.
5
He's
weeks of
definitely reading
super
off something
focus.
right here.
I have PBD helping me in this camp and many other warriors. So I thank you guys for the support.
Notice
and
how
I'll
he
see
said
you
he didn't
guys on 420.
say it's not real though.
Yeah,
Notice how he's like, guys, I'm done talking about
Let
it.
me read the caption
Yes.
for you now.
Yes.
Above all, praise Jesus. The fight is still on 420. I know a lot of you guys are wondering what actually went down. The truth is, I was oppressed and forced to speak from different phones and outlets. Although it was a rough 3 days, I'm safe. Praise the Lord.
I think when he's doing that, I'm sorry, but when he's doing, I gotta interrupt because when he's typing like that, I don't even think he's even allowed to do that. I think he's saying what they want him to say, but he's just typing what they don't want him to type.
Praise the Lord. I want everyone to know I love God. My eyes have seen a lot of things. It may have felt as if it was some type of episode. I can assure you it wasn't. But with that being said,
He just said it's real. See, like he made the video and then he's all like, guys, I'm actually telling the truth. See, he's literally double confirming it, and people will still say he's crazy, he's lying.
But with that being said, I'm going to, for the moment, put the battle to the side and defeat Devil Haney. I will always stand and fight for the children in this world. To much is given, much is expected. I appreciate everyone's support, and love will be reciprocated. DM me and comment if you have any other questions. And then the number one comment is, crazy how Kanye, Kyrie, and Ryan all get attacked by the same entity and folks still don't see what's going on.
Yeah. It's like, I think people in the comments are not stupid. Like everyone's being like,
yeah, everyone is saying they're making him say this. Like that video looks so scripted.
We live in the information age. Like this shit's like the age of like people being like that shit's fake is kind of coming to the end. Like people are really starting to wake up to this weird shit because people just live in such their own small worlds. I was telling this to these people when I was like, people were like, why do rich people? I'm like, dude, having $1 million, not in liquid stocks, not in assets, having more than like, let's say 10 million, 5 million cash, that they even have that sort of money. You gotta like know people. You get the moment you even get that sort of money, you get on people's radar. Like people who like are able to take advantage of you, who will be like, oh, we can increase your money, we can get you.
I think that a lot of times though, that's more so towards celebrities. It's not as geared towards like business owners because they're not in the public eye as much.
Yes.
So they're going to target the people that are in the public eye that can actually affect and manipulate more people.
Yes, it's definitely strategic, like picking up who's a millionaire and who's that. Yeah, or like, because like my thing is just like you don't get how rich people are, and then like, and think about it like this, like if you're rich, you have 365 days to chill. Mm-hmm. You got a lot of time to you got a lot of time to do some shit.
Another big thing is people are saying that they think Ryan Garcia was on drugs when he was making all those claims and everything. But from what I see,
if he was,
from what I see, is that how do you go from freaking out and acting the way he was to in this apology video how calm and like collected he was? Because before he was like super frantic and
with the take call.
Yeah, and
he's like, "Yo, I don't give a fuck." Yeah, like that take call was scary.
Like it was like super frantic and seemed very genuine.
Why would he call Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate, please help me. Like what?
It was crazy. But in the
he's
video,
a CIA asset, I think. Well, yeah, keep going.
His dad works for the CIA too.
Yeah,
but
sketch.
What was I gonna say? But yeah, and then to make that apology video a day later after all that stuff happened, just seems like you don't just get clean from drugs and get a sober mind within a day. Like you're gonna be going through withdrawals and like not be able to talk like that.
Even then, his drug of choice that people were saying, because there's a lot of evidence, was coke. Mm-hmm. And then like, okay, even then if he was using coke, that is insanely wild to say it, even if on coke. Mm-hmm. I can just say myself, I've been around a lot of people on coke, and they were never saying anything like that. Yeah.
And the way I look at it is, he has no reason to really lie for that.
Okay, even if he was lying, why would you lie about something so evil? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And looking at him, he's always been someone to praise Jesus and praise God.
I mean, he walks out to like gospel music.
Yeah, and he talks about his religion openly, and he talks about his missteps and how he's a sinner. Like he's very open.
He's open about how he fucks up. Like
every time he cheats,
he cheats. He talks about cheating on his wife all the time.
Yeah,
he's like, I've cheated.
Which obviously I don't condone that, but I respect it. His honesty and openness towards it.
He's better than I am. Like when it comes to shit like that. Yeah.
Lately I've been. Because I've talked about this, but I'm trying to get more into religion and just really learn and grow, because you are so knowledgeable about stuff, and I want to be able to talk about stuff like Cliff, and I feel like I'm very relatable to George Janko right now. George just still knows way more than I do.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to get to his, like where he's at. Yes. I want to get even further. I want to get to where Cliff's at. Maybe not to that extent because he's been doing it for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
But I do want to be able to just answer questions and talk about my faith, and really be able to have genuine, deep conversations and understanding the Bible.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at that. Like all my coworkers, they ask me, they're like, I literally like, let me just show you. I have like my old coworker for like, he literally hit me up, like asking me about like, asking me like a question. Yeah, he's like, he like just hit me up out of the blue. He's like, you remember like about Nephilim? So I sent him like what I knew. Like, see, like it's just like, yeah, like reaching out to people definitely.
Yeah, right. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to read the Bible from start to finish. And, actually what I'm doing is I'm watching videos about, like, each chapter. So right now I've been reading all the book of Genesis.
That's smart, like watching summaries. Yeah,
so I've been reading all the book of Genesis right now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's hard to remember all the names.
Genesis is underrated just because it's the first book, but that book has so much foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like, it's things.
It's, the biggest part with the Bible is it's hard for me to remember all the names because there's so many people.
Well, yeah, it's like they literally will just go like the Bible will just go like a pure paragraph just naming names of like people who were important. It's like how.
Yeah. So the main thing in Genesis is Abram, and he's talking about
that's Abraham before he became Abraham. That was his first name. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it also talks about the snake.
So the Genesis talks about the days of Enoch, doesn't it? It talks about like.
It mentions it, yeah.
Yeah, so like what really interests me about like Genesis and everything of like this a lot like okay, how do I want to phrase this? Like for example, of Abraham in Genesis, it gives his history of his family. Well, it's crazy.
Was it him or was it Noah that got caught naked by his sons?
Noah. Yeah. Noah's the son of Abraham.
It talks about Noah's a big part of Genesis too.
That was a big thing where because that's like the whole flood.
But when he was drunk and got caught by his sons and his vineyard grapes.
Noah is very important because of his offspring. Like, for example, one of his sons, Shem. Shem, they say are most black, or this goes into this might, people in the comments might be mad at this one. If people, they say Shem is the father of most people who come from like northern Africa. Isaac is like the son of Europeans, and then like the third son. No, that's not true. I'm getting my timelines mixed up. Okay, now I remember what I was trying to say. No, I was wrong. Isaac, they say, went to northern Africa. Esau went to, or like the Mongolians kind of derived from. And then they also say Shem's a son of Noah. Noah's a son, spans from Abraham. Shem, so the thing with people in the Bible is they say they lived really long, right?
Yeah.
So the thing with
700 years.
Yeah, so why I keep saying the word Shem. Okay, now I remember what I'm gonna say. Shem, they say, is like the father of like modern day Semites, which is Israelis, Hebrew people. And the thing of Shem is, in the Bible, there's a really big mystery of this character named Melchizedek. Melchizedek appears to Abraham before his name ever changes. Melchizedek, fun fact, prophesizes about Jesus like 500 years before it even happened. Melchizedek was a king of this one kingdom. He was known as the king of peace, Shalom. And the thing of him is they say that he's a really mysterious character because he only pops up a couple times, spits some super crazy stuff, and disappears. But they say that he's like a son, like he is like the hidden son of Noah, which is pretty crazy to think about. That like, and then here's another thing of like, you know what? This goes into nothing. Let's skip this. This is bad. We're gonna edit this out. So with the Middle East, they say the three people the people that lived there, they all derive from three people: Ishmael, Isaac, and Esau. So if Ishmael in the Bible, it's stated that the 13 tribes of Judah, which are the tribes of like the Canaanites, the Amalekites, like they're Middle Eastern tribes, which some Palestinians will really literally tell you like, I'm Canaanite, I'm not Palestinian. So like those tribes derive from that. Then in Africa, which is right below the Middle East, Isaac went down there with his wife, they say. And then for like Kuzite people, I think the term is like the people who are like really dark Asians, like Mongols, people in that area, they say Esau went there. And then like there's this, you have to, the thing about this is it's not deliberately said. There's a lot of context clues you have to follow in the Bible and through other historical texts that can support these claims. But it's just really crazy to think about that. So like the big thing of like the Middle East is how like the Muslims hate the Jews. But then if you like go off what I just said right there, they're all fucking Jews. They're all derived from, if we're the sons of Abraham, if most humans derive. Well, here's the thing about the days of Abraham. There are multiple tribes, not just Abraham, but for some reason, a lot of people just in that specific area are sons of Abraham. If you believe that those people are sons of Abraham, you kind of gotta believe that at the end of the day, they're all Jewish. And what's really evil is this conflict today, this holy war, it's over this confusion. Fucked up. That's really sad to think about. Not saying that's just fact. This is a pretty crazy theory to think about.
We were talking about the Muslim religion too, and you were talking about how there's different like sections, different groups in the Muslim religion.
Yeah,
like, you said like Hamas is different than just the general Muslim religion, right?
Well, yeah, there's like
separatists.
There's Shia. There's like it's like Shia Muslims and like Sharia Muslims. I'm pretty sure. Let me just look that up.
Because there's some that just genuinely hate Americans and Christians and Jewish people.
Two main Muslim groups. Yeah, Sunni and Shia. The Shias hate the Sunni. The Shias. Let me actually.
What's weird about the Muslim religion, for the people that don't know too, which I respect, the fact that you believe in something, I can respect that.
Yes.
Anyone who believes in a God, I can respect that. I don't think you're right in what you believe in, but I
you kind of have to stand on business. Yeah, that's the thing the Bible also says.
But I respect what you believe, or I respect that you're a believer. With that said, the one twisted thing about Muslim religion is that your prophet, Muhammad was 54 years old and married a 6-year-old. That is very that just doesn't make sense to me.
You know what's funny too is then you'll ask like some like certain Muslims, like I've seen so many like of those street preachers being like, do you approve of that? And they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a Christian. He went to Saudi Arabia and started asking Muslims on the street that, and they're like, "Yeah, it's okay."
Yeah, they're like,
so they're condoning pedophilia
because it's just delusion, bro. It's like it's plain and simply wrong. And then like, I don't know. This is the way Okay, I got a big one for you since you already dropped that bomb.
I mean, this is facts, dude. It's not like it's hidden. I mean, the thing is, I don't think they like being questioned on it.
Yes. No. All right. But, okay, so this comes from Galatians 1:6. But though we... I don't know, this is a different translation.
Oh, Abram only had 2 sons. Isaac and Jacob.
Ishmael. That's his half... That was a... Remember, because he couldn't have Isaac, remember? That was his... Remember how him and Lisa wanted that baby, but they couldn't have the baby originally, so then he had the Ishmael that from Ahab. Ahab was the servant of Lisa. Yeah. And she was honestly... I feel bad for Ahab and Ishmael, because like Lisa ended up getting jealous and kicking him out, but then God came to Ahab and said like, oh, like, nah, I'm protecting y'all. Like, I like y'all. So I like that. Like, that's a very true testament of God, like, watching people, even though he, like, those, like, because Ahab, like, was like, oh, what, like, I'm not protected. Like, I'm not even Israeli. Like, she was, like, part of, like, the Canaanite tribe. So she was scared, but then God showed her, like, mercy, which he shows all his people. But with this verse I'm going to read you about Islam, which this goes into Islam and Mormonism. I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called upon to you the grace of Christ unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would prevent the gospel of Christ. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so say I now again. If any man preach any other gospel unto you than the one that you've received from me, let him be cursed. So what that says is, if someone comes to you being like, I have the Bible part 2, that person's
false prophet.
Yeah, that person is literally God's side, curse that person. Mm-hmm. So think about that. So Islam they recognize Jesus as a prophet of Islam. Mm-hmm. Islam literally steals from Christianity. The way Islam even got founded...
They just don't see him as the son of God. They just see him as a prophet, right?
Yes. And another thing, too. The way Islam even got founded was Muhammad was practicing spiritual rituals, trying to contact spirits and shit, commits, like, this do some weird, like, some magic. And allegedly, the angel Michael came to him and gave him the word of the Quran. Joseph Smith, founder of Mormonism, says that he went out to the forest. The angel Michael, or I think it was Gabriel, came to him. These are these stone tablets that only you can read. It's literally same shit. They both tried to say it, because even the Bible just said, even an angel, if the angel tries to say that to you, that's not them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Basically the Bible's saying, like, even let angels be cursed if they're trying to trick you.
What I heard was that all those are just false gods. They're just...
So that goes into, like, Egyptian...
devil's angels, basically.
Like the Greek gods and Egyptian gods, those are just fallen angels, because fallen angels have those abilities. Mm-hmm. Fallen angels are malevolent, super powerful beings. You know what's funny is all the fallen angels that are on earth are, like, some of the lowest ranked angels in heaven. The angels that were set here were literally, like, the lowest ranked.
Who would that be?
That was... I'll give you the name. That's the thing, is I'm horrible with names.
So do you believe in, like, some of the mythology, like Greek mythology and, like, those gods and stuff?
Well, it's just when I'm just going to not even... I just don't want to act like I'm a fucking side switcher because I'm saying all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, it's just like, think about it. Like, fallen angels, giants, Nephilims. Nephilims were known for being hybrids, like with insane superhuman abilities. Some of them could be up to, like, 20 feet tall. They were giant. They were masters of war. Mm-hmm. Like, masters of their craft.
Like Zeus.
Yeah, or like Alexander the Great. or like he was a conquest, like a conqueror. You got Genghis Khan. You got these great warriors.
Okay, those are regular people, though, aren't they?
It's cool to think about that. I don't know. Like I'm just those are theories,
Those
but
aren't
like
gods. Those are just regular people.
well, being a Nephilim doesn't make you a god. This makes you a hybrid. But fucking what's it called? Well, yeah, like and also the reason why I also believe that is because like I mean the Bible and also those stories took place around similar time. Like the days of Enoch are predate Jesus by like thousands of years.
Yeah, that's why they say it's not canon to the Bible.
Yeah,
I think, is because
it's so old. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's pre-flood, which pre-flood happened way before. If you look at the bloodline, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. They have lots of kids.
That's another thing Cliff talks about is people try to argue that the Bible says the Earth's only 3,000 or 4,000 years old when it's not the case because they don't give exact dates.
I don't ever remember the Bible saying I think that's a big lie. That's like how people say
it's just misinformation.
That's like how people say Einstein was bad at math. That's just misinformation. Yeah, because you've heard that, right? Like people say, "Hey,
I have."
Einstein." You haven't heard that expression? What's like an expression like where like your blood's blue? Like that's That's just,
and then once it comes out, it's red.
Yeah, it's like that. Like where did that come from? Like like have you read in the Bible where it says the Earth is 5,000 years old? It doesn't ever say that. It doesn't ever give you time. That's just one of those things.
They would definitely say that in the Book of Genesis, I think.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It gives you no time of when the Earth was created. It gives you no time frame of that. It just says it was the 7 days. It gives you the.
What are 7 days to God? Ask what because. God didn't say 7 days, 24 hours. What is 7 days to God? Think about how much time that is. Well, this time is just such a construct of itself.
Yeah, it's man-made.
Yeah.
Like the hours, time, seconds. I mean, we use the sun to.
Well, they say like we're not in the year 20. A lot of people not a lot of people. People say that we're not in the year 2024. I think we're like either like way ahead or way back. Yeah, that's what some people say.
I mean, how would you say that? Because our years are based off AD, which is after death.
I haven't done enough research on why some people say that. I know this one guy named Bishop Larry Gators likes to talk about that.
That's also another thing that I think, like, how can you not believe? Because our time is literally based off the death of Jesus Christ. Like the year 2024, AD is after death, right?
People say that's People say that's Catholic misinformation.
And then BC is before Christ.
People say that's not. I'm pretty sure that's not what it originally meant. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that one.
I think there is multi meanings to that.
I remember my teacher, Mr. Nelson used to say. Mr. Nelson was like a hard fucking Democrat. He was always like, "That's Christian propaganda, BC." I don't know. That guy was saying some weird stuff sometimes. But no, you were all right, Mr. Nelson. If you ever hear this, you weren't too bad. You were cool.
Yeah, but I know before like AD and BC, they said there's like a gap in between there too, like when Jesus would have actually died. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, let's think about it, bro.
That,
I mean, the Bible's just given, like, the information that's given to you is just given to you such clumps. Like, dude, Jesus is born, then it literally skips to 33 years later. Bro is doing stuff for 33 years, which, according to uncanon text, Jesus apparently spent time, like, training with, like, magicians. Like, he was, like went with, like, some people say that he went and, like, was able to kind of learn about, like, apparently he didn't, like, know who he was the entire time. Like, he kind of had to activate almost. Yeah, like, he had to grow into becoming, like, the Messiah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Huh. Cool information. I don't know. Do with that what you will. I'm not saying I believe in that. I want to talk necessarily, but it's cool, yeah.
About all the secret societies.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got into that the other night as well. And what specifically got us talking about that was, I think, LeBron and Kobe.
Yes.
Because we were talking about Kobe's death, and you said you thought that was, like, planned. Or not necessarily planned, but you thought that was definitely, like, set up.
Yeah. Because
you thought he got killed.
Yeah, because Kobe Bryant, if you guys don't know, has written 2 books that talk about witchcraft and some really weird stuff. and he like has heavy witchcraft shit. And like here's the thing, you guys are gonna be like, that's the most dumbest shit I've ever heard. Google right now, Kobe Bryant books. Go to on Google, you can see the books he's written. You just gotta click the button. It'll show you the list of books he's written. The books you'll look for is called the Wisnard and the Apoca. Wisnard. So in the Bible, there's this term called spikenard. That's a term given to people. Basically, the term means highly anointed from God. Anointing tenfold. Like this, a heavy, heavy holy anointing. Wisnard translates to warlock in ancient Persian. Yeah, so he is, boom. Because the nard apparently means to lock in. So like not spike, like it's like the lock in the anointing. So like wise is like the warlock. Yeah. So but and another thing too of Kobe Bryant is I'm gonna cue up this video. I know we didn't plan on this, but I don't think you've ever even seen this video.
You just need to send it to me so I can put it into the video.
All right, I will after because you're gonna not forget this video ever. I guarantee you.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Did you see the video I sent you on Instagram of him?
Yes.
Him
yes.
praising God.
Here's the thing about Kobe Bryant.
Me personally,
if you're practicing witchcraft, you know about God.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. Okay, I got you. So this is 10 minutes. You could probably just put a timestamp for people.
Are you gonna make me watch the whole video right now?
It's 5. This video is only 5 minutes. Do you want to do it right now, or you want to do it later?
Yeah, I'll just do it later.
We'll do it later. I won't forget. Okay, never mind. Basically, the video I was about to show Kaya, Kobe Bryant, you'll put the video in. Mm-hmm. The fucker talks about trapping demons in your body and using them as a source of power, known as moose caging.
Huh.
Yes, that's why I wanted to show you the video.
So, do you think you can simultaneously believe in that while believing in God?
Yeah, because like that's the thing. If you believe in the devil,
isn't that like you're not really worshiping God?
You're
worshiping.
Oh, so you're saying that as like worshiping God? No, I didn't mean it like in that. I meant like if you believe the devil exists, you believe God exists.
Yeah.
So that's like
but I guess.
Oh, here's the thing about saying.
Can he be religious? Can he be Christian while also being into witchcraft and stuff?
Can we watch that video you sent me on Instagram one more time? Because
that's what I was.
Yeah, let's listen to that, and I'll give you my answer because I want to hear what he says.
Well, okay, actually, here, before I say that,
yes.
What I will say is a lot of these celebrities, they talk about God, but they never say Jesus.
That is exactly why I said I want to listen to the video. Because he says God, but who's God? He doesn't say Yahweh.
Is it that simple? God is great. Don't get no simpler than that, bro. You can know it all you want, but until you got to pick up that cross that you can't carry, and he picks it up for you and carries you and the cross, then you know.
Okay, what about him mentioning the cross?
He mentions the cross, but the cross is a symbol of the Christ. But yeah,
there is.
Why does he talk about controlling the moose cages then? Like we'll never know, honestly.
Because I personally, I've always thought Kobe was a good guy. Like,
him practicing witchcraft doesn't make him like the most evilest fucker ever. There's so much. Because here's the thing about witchcraft: it's knowledge that is not readily accessible. It's knowledge that it's not even accessible to Google. Mm-hmm. Which, if you truly believe in witchcraft, I think the big misconception of witchcraft is that it's like niggas with wands.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about some occultic rituals and what a occultic ritual entails. Rituals are called rituals because certain parameters need to be met. Like, for example, you might have to do like duality for 10 hours, which means duality is like white is black, night is day, good is evil, man is woman, transient. So duality, they believe in the occult, is the highest point of spiritual energy. Mm-hmm. Once you hit that unison, like yin yang. Other cultures talk about duality. So does things in the Bible of spirituality. It's really weak. Yeah. So and then with people who do rituals, they recognize this and they know about this. And these rituals, they're long and strong. Like, they're not simple. Like, this stuff that is ancient knowledge passed down. So like people like me and Kaya aren't gonna know exactly what people who claim they practice is shit know. Like, plain and simple. So that the fact that Kobe Bryant, who knows? That's basically what I'm trying to say. He clearly just knew some shit. and what people who or like know about the moose cages shit with he's involved in. What people like the conclusion people can come to with Kobe Bryant is that he was okay. The reason why a lot of people think Kobe Bryant was a good guy too is because people were saying Bishop Larry Gator says this, that he was about to expose a lot of information before he died, and then Bishop Larry Gator says what you say, like he seems like he wasn't that bad of a guy. And there's a reason that's why people just think he died, you know? So I feel like that's all I can honestly add to that.
Talk about his crash, like the circumstances around it. Like,
an insanely trained helicopter pilot who couldn't see an entire mountain.
Right into the side of a mountain. No matter how foggy it is.
Have you even seen the videos of how they said he wouldn't have done it? The nigga like beelines and like completely beelined into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I don't know, the people like the elite like to assassinate people on flying objects. Like there was a Clinton advisor. His last name was Brown. I can't remember his first name, but he died in a plane crash in Turkey with a bullet in his head.
Clintons are evil.
You can look that up right now. Oh yeah, dude, the Clintons have so many murdered, like not even tried to keep it secret murders.
Yeah, weren't you talking about the octopus theory or something? Isn't that what you were talking about?
With what?
Or like they have so many different branches of killings and stuff. The Clintons isn't that called the octopus theory?
I've heard of this. Yeah, the tentacle theory. I didn't tell you about it, but I've heard of it. Yeah, like there's
so many different people that are killed connected to the Clintons.
Yeah, it's insane. Like what people say is like if you were to get a rap sheet of people what this theory goes into, like think about how many people you know who've died. Mm-hmm. And let's compare the amount of people you know who've died to the amount of people, oh, I am so sorry. The amount of people.
Tux.
So when you want to compare to the amount of people that you know who've died to the amount of people to like the Clintons who know who've died, it's like they've known like 200 plus.
They're also way older than me.
Doesn't matter.
My age.
I'm talking like old people. Like ask anyone. Do you think your dad knows 200 plus people who've died?
No, probably like 20.
And the circumstances that they've died in, like getting shot in the head. Do you know how many people have been associated with them just got their brains blown out?
Yeah, I don't know if it was you or Cook, but I'm pretty sure Cook was the one who said it. Someone they wrote off committed suicide, but shot themselves twice in the head.
Yeah.
That's what?
Yeah, dude, they've tried to say that people have assassinated themselves with rifles, holding them like this. Yeah, like that's insane.
Yeah.
Who would kill themselves like that?
It's crazy.
Although I have seen a video of a guy who killed himself with a rifle like that.
Instagram is a dark place.
Instagram is a very dark place. Yeah.
I've also we'll talk about that. Like Obama's chef that got killed last year.
Nigga drowned in like a pond, in like a foot pond, naked. At Obama's house. Imagine if someone died at this house, and you were associated. You think that would be a big deal?
Yeah, that'd be huge,
dude. And
in a 1 foot pond, I'm getting arrested for murder. Dude.
And with that Obama death too, they were like, "Oh, it's okay. He just tripped." They're like, "Obama, don't worry about it. We know you're not guilty."
That is so weird, dude. It's crazy.
He has immunity.
What do you think about JFK? His murder.
This is straight up assassinated. Since those CIA or those FBI documents have come out, they already have said like there are so many reasons why. Like for example, like Oswald, the shooter, his wife was like a Russian spy. He was getting like MK Ultra by his wife. Mm-hmm. There was like.
Isn't MK Ultra like a form of hypnosis?
Yes, it's a mind control through heavy drug dosage. It's mostly achieved through drugs and like suggestive like brainwashing. Yeah, but he was exposed to that, and then the person that shot Harvey Oswald, John Ruby, his prison therapist was like the founder of like MK Ultra, like a heavy, like he was like a master of it, and that was the guy's prison therapist.
That's crazy. I didn't know
all those people were connected to JFK. Yeah, so then like, well then like just the Russians.
What I want to say about
the Russians are involved in JFK's death pretty much.
Is that JFK was the last liberal conservative president.
Yeah, JFK was the last president where, like, what we were talking about very early on, how, like, being a Republican, being a Democrat used to mean something way different. Like, he was the last.
He is my favorite president of all time. I don't even know why, but I've always been so intrigued and so fascinated with his life and everything about him. I remember I did a project on him in 3rd grade, and ever since, I've just been so enticed to learn more about him. Like, right now, I'm reading about him and when he joined the war. And he was a war hero, bro. I don't know if you know anything about his history in the war, in the military, but he...
yeah, he was in the Navy, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was.
Did you know he used to have like sex with girls every single day?
That's crazy.
Okay. Sorry for bringing that up.
His dad was like
he was a playboy.
Rich.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
His dad was a ambassador, a foreign ambassador. I'm pretty sure. And anyways, he joined the Navy and
he had the law of kills, didn't he? Like he was
no.
like, oh, I thought he was blowing up.
No, but
people.
he saved like 12 people.
Oh wow.
So he was the commander of a PT boat, which is a torpedo boat.
Yes.
Back then in World War II, they were on, I forget the name of the islands, but they were fighting the Japs and
Japanese. I'm just kidding. That could be considered racist.
Oh, whatever. If people think I'm racist for saying Japs, dude, that's crazy.
I've heard people be like, you can't say that. Let's keep going.
Anyways, a Japanese destroyer. So they were on a nightly watch, and a Japanese destroyer boat ran right into their PT boat, and the PT boat's only 80 feet. A destroyer boat, I think, is way bigger. It's like an actual cruise ship, like a warship. A PT boat is just a tiny,
little submarine. They're like little.
80 feet is big, so.
No, it's not. 80 feet's super small.
I mean, when you think about like a river boat, that's like 4 times.
80 feet, bro, is like from like that, from here to like right here. That's like 80 feet.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like you don't see that big boats on the Wenatchee River.
That is very fair.
Because like my parents have a big boat, like a big river boat, and it's only like 25 feet.
That is fair. Yeah, that is decent size.
Yeah, but in comparison to military boats, yeah, it's not very big.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was the commander of one of those, and it got cut in half directly by a destroyer.
Seriously?
Yeah, it literally got hit from the side and got completely cut in half. There was 14 crewmen. 2 of them died right away.
Yeah.
All 12.
That pressure.
12 people survived, and one of them had massive burns, and one of them broke his leg and his kneecap or something like that.
How did JFK pull it off?
And what happened? They ended up surviving on a little tiny island that was 100 feet or 100 yards in diameter.
Yeah.
For 7 days, and
like Bikini Bottom type, like the SpongeBob Island.
when the other PT boats saw that it exploded, it got ran over by the destroyer, they assumed everyone died. There's no way anyone could have survived that, and 12 people survived it. And basically, John F. Kennedy.
How did they? Dude, just think about you're underwater, and all of a sudden you're fucking. Dude, a violent explosion. And then water just hits you.
And JFK survived. Him and 12 of his people survived 7 days. And when they went to the island, they took one of the part of their cruiser or PT boat had a big piece of lumber on it. Like it was just how it was manufactured or whatnot. And so 11 of the men or 10 of the men like all kind of climbed on that and like paddled to like the island, which was like 3 miles away or something like that. And
I'm guessing there's probably sharks too, right?
Yeah, it was very heavily shark infested.
Yeah, because the Japanese waters.
JFK, I forgot, did something, wrapped the guy who like broke his legs and had the bad burns, and put like the life vest, the strap, connected it to the guy, and then put it around his mouth so he could tow him. And JFK didn't use any flotation device like everyone else used the one tree trunk to float. He literally hauled this guy with his mouth, like holding the guy, and swam all the way to the shore, and then did that multiple times. And it's crazy. It's like 2 chapters long to try and really, it's not doing it any justice right here. But yeah, they survived 7 days, and the story is absolutely insane. He literally saved so many people, and like half the crew after like day 5 were giving up hope. Like they're like, there's no way we're gonna make it out.
I didn't know he was a hero like that. That's actually really crazy.
Yeah. So he saved literally a whole crew's life. Basically.
I like me personally. I like Grant. Ulysses S. Grant as the president. He was a good
the war commander, right?
Yeah. Well, this is kind of his story, his upbringing. His family were slave abolitionists. And what happened was that he ended up marrying into a family that owned slaves. So he ended up getting slaves. He only had like 70. And then he would actually go out there and work with them. And then he like treat them nice. And they were like confused. They're like, what are you doing? And then, and everyone was like, why are you treating them nice? And then he ended up just setting them all free before they was even allowed. They're like, you guys can go. Yeah. Dang. He was actually he was just like a guy. He was just a dude. Like he had depression issues. He smoked and drank. Like he was stressed out, but he just did what he could. And he was just morally just kind of, I think, a good person. Mm-hmm. And like as a president, to me, that's important, you know. And another person who was like that's Abe Lincoln. I think Abe Lincoln might be the GOAT.
12th president of the U.S., right?
Bro, Abe?
I think he was the 12th president.
I might be a little biased saying I like him because, you know, he kind of freed my people, but yeah.
Was he actually the one who freed people from slavery?
Yeah, he abolished it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
well, okay. I guess that fact might be not 100% true because apparently it took time for it to fully get. Well, it got abolished state by state. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not a lot of people actually know that. They just think it all got abolished at the same time.
No,
there were niggas who were slaves up until like War, you know how long people were slaves for? Like there are people who were slaves for like another like 15 years because people like the slave owners were like they got the letter and were like we're gonna keep that under wraps. We ain't telling anybody. What's that letter say, Master? We ain't. It said keep working.
How do you feel about generational trauma?
It's not real.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think so either.
No.
It's just a way for people to play victim and try and get sympathy from others.
No, black people. Okay, I'm about to get controversial.
I'm gonna let you do that.
Yeah. Black culture.
Me talking about it. Yeah. If I clip it up, I'm gonna sound super racist.
Do not. Yeah. I will say this. I am not racist towards my people. I love black people. I'm black.
Keep talking.
Both my parents are black. But my thing of black people wanting to be victims, wanting reparations, being like white folks, blaming the things that happened 3 generations ago, whatever generations ago. I'm an idiot, so I can't give you the exact number. They just want to keep complaining. It's just like, you weren't the only ones that went through the most horrific shit. Dude, Irish people were slaves for a minute. Irish people, to this day, are easily more oppressed than any black person to this. Dude, they literally got their country stolen from them hardcore. Their language is dead. Irish people have a language. It's like Gaelic or something. The only like 5%, like less than 5% of the population speak it. There are multiple other. How about also, people always want to talk about the transatlantic slave route. You know what was even worse? The sub-Saharan trade route with the Middle East.
I don't even know what that is.
That was like the Middle Eastern trade slave route before Islam was really even a thing.
Yeah.
Those people, you know what they used to do? Like, you know what being a eunuch is? The term eunuch?
No, I don't.
It's when they cut your nuts off as a slave, I'm pretty sure.
What?
No, I think that's gelding. Yeah, they would geld the slaves, which they would grab. They wouldn't cut it. They would just grab a red hot iron and just rub your nuts off with it. Like, since it was so hot, you can just swipe dick and balls off. Yeah, and that's what the Arab slave owners used to do.
Well, weren't a lot of white people in Egypt slaves too? Egyptians were slaves, or I mean that's like back to Pharaoh, I think. What's that king? The king of Egypt, Pharaoh.
I don't know many. There's like Ramses, Tut, Cleopatra.
Pharaoh's one of them, right?
Pharaoh's the title of the leader.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
No, yeah. White people were slaves. I'm just trying to think which ones were.
The Roman Empire.
Yeah, I'm talking like, I want like, because people like, well, that's not enough for a black person. You got to, they weren't slaves like us. I'm trying to think of like people who were slaves. Irish people were literally slaves like black people. What, like, they intersected in America.
So basically,
Irish people. If you've ever, like, there used to be a saying, what you can pay a nigger to do for a nickel, you can pay an Irish Mick to do for a dime. Or no, for like a penny. Like, you can pay Irish people even less than blacks. Irish people were seen less than blacks at one point in America. They used to draw pictures, you know, like the propaganda posters? Mm-hmm. They used to draw those, making them look like just like Irish people, like, gave them like big lips and like gave them spears.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
No one knows about it because it doesn't go with the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So that's my thing of like black people wanting to be like, I'm a victim. You're not the only people.
Yeah.
Native Americans complain less than black people, it seems like.
And all of them were abolished, bro.
Dude, they're dead. We killed them all. We kill all of them. There's like only like a couple 100,000 left. They complain less. They actually have a valid complaint. Like, we want our country back. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on Lyndon B. Johnson?
Lyndon B. Johnson. What did he do?
He is the one who wrote the Civil Rights Act.
I'm going to be honest. I have no opinion on that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read a little bit because this is... Okay, I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs real quick. It is no surprise then that 60 years later, blacks on the whole are more dependent on those government handouts than ever. And this was, in fact, by design. For Johnson's Voting Rights Act was instrumental in getting blacks to polls in unprecedented numbers, particularly in the Jim Crow South. This turnout did little to leverage the black vote in ways that would be most beneficial for the community as a whole. Johnson's legislation essentially crystallized a long-term pact between blacks and the Democratic Party.
So I've heard
that still
this,
exists today, lending credence to his alleged statement that he would have those Negroes, voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
I've heard that quote. Well, I have heard of this guy because I have heard the argument that the civil rights movement hurts black people more than it does help them.
That's what I was.
That's what I was going to get into. Because I've heard this before.
So I was talking to you about this the other night. I brought it up and I was telling you how
I was so drunk.
He's known as the guy who basically made black people equal because of the Civil Rights Act, but he did it with intentions of
racial intentions. Yeah, because that's like how Democrats today secure the colored vote.
Yeah,
they don't like color. It's like Hillary Clinton got called out for pandering to black people back when her election was going on because she's like, you know what I keep in my purse? Hot sauce. Remember that? Where that was like a big thing, and people were like, Hillary, like you're just kind of pandering. And she's like, well, did it work? Like she said that openly. Because they're aware of what they're doing. It's people. I think
they just want to have power.
A big thing with people in civilization is smart people. People who are just a little bit smarter than you want you to think you're dumb. They don't want you to have critical thinking skill. They want you to think that they're 100 steps ahead of you.
Yeah,
and that that's just not the case. And in this day of age, that's showing. Yeah.
I'm going to continue reading. There is some uncertainty about whether Johnson actually made this bold claim, but even if he did not, a quote attributed to the president by numerous historians and publications lays bare the actual intention behind his historical civil rights legislation. Quote unquote, these Negroes, they're getting pretty uppity these days, and that's a problem for us since they've got something now that they never had before. The political pullback the political pull to back up their uppityness. Now we've got to do something about this. We've got to give them a little something, just enough to quiet them down.
Black people for 30 years in America had like a super, super, super good grace period where like they were rich. We're back when you
That's
hear about.
That's basically what this whole book's about. How we're kind of regressing in society.
Well, like you remember hearing about those like black-owned towns where like they would get burned down from like racist people. Like there used to be towns like that all over where gangs never. Black people used to be like as on the same point as white people. That this is post-slavery, like I'm talking like 1920. For like 10, 20 years, black people had it, but then shit happened. Yeah.
Now we've got to do something about this. We've got to give them a little something, just enough to quiet them down, not enough to make a difference. For if we don't move at all, then their allies will line up against us, and there will be no way of stopping them. We'll lose the filibuster, and there will be no way of putting a break on all sorts of wild legislation. It'll be Reconstruction all over again. Indeed, LBJ would allege to save us from poverty in the night-riding Klansman. We would repay him and the Democratic Party with our blind allegiance for generations to come. So that's basically what I was going to say is that by passing that act, he knew he was going to get the black vote for a long time. And
oh, yeah, good book.
So, yeah, it's one of the books I've been reading. And yeah, it's crazy because I feel like a lot of black people are just so blindly committed to the Democratic Party.
And if you say what we're saying, you're like, as a black person, you go against the grain, you're excommunicated from black people.
Yeah, look at all the black people, what they say about Candace Owens.
They hate her.
They say she's
Uncle Tom Coon. Yeah, Uncle Tom Coon is what they like to say. Yeah.
It's crazy.
But then niggas will go and kill 30 people on a crash out. Like, oh my gosh,
that's
dude.
literally
Like, come on.
She talks to all the facts and
she's racist, but then you're gonna go kill 7 of your own brothers, and be like, man, I killed that nigga because we was on a different nigga. We from O block, you from C block.
Yeah.
We from different.
Right now,
you don't own that block. You don't own that piece of property. You don't. You have. You've only been alive. It's just so sad.
Yeah, from where
black
I'm at
people have
in the
been. It's generational programming is what it's called. We have been victims of generational programming. Yeah.
Where I'm at in the book right now, it's talking about how the media makes it out to seem like white police officers are out to kill black men, and it was saying I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but basically how in reality the black on black crime is way more, and the police officers
90% of black deaths are from black on black violence.
Yeah. And there's only very few that are actually from white cops that have actually shot and killed unarmed
Did you know that if we were to remove our inner cities like Chicago, St. Louis, Atlanta, we're right now we're like top 10 highest murder rates in the world. If you would remove all those inner cities, we jump to 170th. So that means we're like literally like one of the safest countries on the planet if you would just get rid of those places.
In this book, it was referring to 2018, I want to say. She said that Chicago averaged 33 murders a month.
That is insane.
Like black murder. Black people getting killed 33 times a month.
How many times, how many years will it take for like Wenatchee, Washington to reach that number of 33 murders?
Dude, 33 murders.
One murder happens like every other year.
Yeah, if that.
Dude. Yeah, the years go by without a murder around here.
Specifically in Wenatchee.
There was like 5 low last year. That was like we were all like looking at each other when all those people were dropping last year.
Yeah, I feel like that's crazy. A lot of wannabe like Mexican gang members though.
It is, yeah.
Not to put like a race on it, but it is.
That's just what's in this area, yeah.
Where else were we at?
Well, I'm not done because I want to get back to I was going to go into
black people being oppressed and like victimization.
I had another thing to add to that. I did, but fuck, what was it? New topic. I've told my friends this before. It's a really cool theory I've had where I kind of made up. I feel like, imagine this, all this shit, like all these conspiracies, like secret societies, 9/11, moon landing, George Floyd, all this shit. Imagine that everything is actually as it seems. It's all actually coincidences, and we're just all overthinking it. There's no such thing as conspiracies. It's not as complicated as that. It's just that since life is so shitty, we just have to create those reasons for those things happening. I've thought about that before, and it's really crazy to think about this. Like, imagine if this, like, all those conspiracies you thought were conspiracies were, no, they weren't. Like, this was coincidence. Mm-hmm. How do you think, like, how would that make you feel if you found out, like, that was the truth of things? Like, you died, and then, there was no heaven, like, you went to, like, void, but, like, then you got to see, like, history, and, like, you just saw that you were wrong about everything. Well, I think I think I would just laugh. I would just go crazy.
I don't know. If there's no God, then I think when you die, you die. I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, like I remember telling my friend Elias that I'm just like, if I died in this, I just found out like everything I knew was just like
a lie.
Yeah, I'd probably lose my shit.
No, it wouldn't be a lie. It'd be the truth. Everything you knew would be the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. No, but my thing is like, I wouldn't be necessarily like because like I'd rather die and there be nothing than die and like go to hell, you know? Yeah, but still, like I've always just thought about that. What happens if like we're just wrong? Like Hillary Clinton's, they've never murdered a soul. Mm-hmm. Like what? Like like Epstein, he was just one guy. I'm talking like that. Like those conspiracies are all just actual coincidence.
That would be crazy.
That would be sad. That would just be like
things are too. We just know that that's not the case.
Well, yeah, human intuition. Like that's why, like, I believe vibes are a thing. Like, I believe, like, you can feel energy from emitting from people. Yeah. Like, you can sit in a room and just see, like, that guy has some bad.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I've had this. I ghosts are a pet peeve of mine because I don't. Here's why. Because why don't you ever see them anywhere but evil places? If ghosts were real,
a ghost then, or demon, or ghost, or
it'll be the Bible says that there is. the Bible says that there kind of is
demonic beings.
If you're going to be contacting a spirit, you're not talking to a ghost, because that's just ghosts, according to the Bible. Like, if you go off context of like things in the Bible, ghosts kind of can't really be a thing. The Bible doesn't really talk about people getting trapped in limbo like that ever. There's no purgatory between heaven and hell, or there's no really, the Bible doesn't talk about it in between.
Yeah.
So like, and then if you take what the Bible says, like once you die, you receive your judgment. Your decision's made then and there, unless you believe in some certain sects of Christianity. Like some Christians believe once you die, you're in a sleep, and then on the day of the rapture, everyone wakes up, and that's where everyone lines up and gets judged. This depends what you believe. But like freaking ghost, this is like, I think like evil spirits can be a thing, like evil demons, because like with the Ouija boards, whenever like you hear those testimonies of people using them, like for example, the famous paranormal YouTubers Sam and Colby. Are you familiar with Sam and Colby? Really, you should look into them. They're cool. They like go like all over the world and do like paranormal like explorations. But they were doing this
Have you been on Joe Rogan?
Yes.
Okay, I do know him.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know it. But they gave this, you probably know this story then, where they were saying they played with a Ouija board in the house, and they asked the ghost, like, is God real? And the ghost said no. And then, so then all their friends said, we got a fucking GTFO right now.
Keep telling it though, yeah, I don't know if they're familiar.
They're like, we want a GTFO. And they're like, well, okay. So like they ran, and then Sam and Colby were like, why are you guys freaking out? And they're like, oh, because in the Bible, the big thing that demons try to do to you is cause separation. They want you to think that God doesn't exist. God doesn't acknowledge you. They want you to lose that hope and fall into despair. And that's exactly what that,
for me though, instantly when that happens, is if that board actually moved to no, that is proof that God does exist.
It is.
Because that proves that there are spiritual beings, and if there's spiritual beings, there's God.
Scientists don't want to talk about Ouija boards. Because the moment you ask someone about a Ouija board, you can find 100 testimonies where people will swear on their fucking life that they did not move that shit. Like Trent. Trent has my favorite story about when they looked up the guy that used to live. Like they asked the ghost his name. You ever heard Trent told? It was of him, Noah, and like Cameron. They asked the ghost his name. They Googled it. The fucker like killed himself in the house. No one knew about that guy. It was like 60 years prior when they were like 13. You're telling me one of the 13-year-olds Googled previous homeowners on Trent's address and did an elaborate prank like that. And by the way, the lights were flickering too while they were doing it.
I think Keegan had a story like that too.
I think Keegan might have been there.
At Justin's house, I want to say.
It might have been that, yeah.
And like all their phone flashlights turned on or turned off.
Yes, I've heard that. My teacher said one time her and her sister did one. They were in their parents' closet. An earthquake happened.
That's crazy.
Earthquake happened.
What's weird is my parents have an original one from like the early 1900s.
Yes.
And they won't let me touch it.
Dude, you're not even supposed to look at one. You know why?
I own one.
And you know what's funny is like they try to say like once you try to burn it or something, you get like cursed like tenfold. And the only reason to remove a curse is you have to get like anointed, to have like an anointed pastor come and pray over you and like rebuke the demon that's like attached to you. Because once you use a Ouija board, you're opening up a portal to the spirit realm, allowing demons to enter your life. Because your spirit. So here's the thing. This also goes into aliens. What aliens could be demons. Because Balbazar said aliens see humans as a vessel. The thing about things that exist, this also goes into why God too. This is
for those that don't know. Hold on, Bob Lazar worked at Area 51.
This is how 51? Autistic. Yeah, this is how autistic I am. So the reason why this is going to be a long one. The reason why the reason why Jesus is Lord, Jesus is God. They are one entity, the same. Because all that Jesus is a vessel for God to come on earth in the flesh. Because if God were to come on earth in his form, everyone would die. He's too powerful. He's too powerful. He says this to multiple people, where like he has to tell people like look away. Like didn't he tell that to Moses? He's like look on the ground. Like when God's shown himself, people fall on their face. That's what the Bible says about multiple people. Like literally the Lord says like you have to look away, and they just fall on their face. So like that's the thing. So Jesus had to come. Our flesh is like a conduit between the physical realm and the spiritual realm, they say. So our flesh, it's almost like a Wi-Fi signal, a Bluetooth signal. Like we're in our spiritual bodies, whatever dimension we reside in.
World,
yeah, and then we're sending our signal. We're controlling our body like puppets, they say. Yeah. So the thing with demons is that they need you to be they need vessels. So playing things like Ouija boards opens up portals for them to actually enter your life. That's why I always trying to tell you, don't fuck with shit like that because it's bad. Like it's bad, and then they come out of that to recover from that.
Do you think that's how people get possessed? Like, have you seen the videos of people needing to getting possessed and a pastor
I saw a video.
Has to, put holy water
I saw
on
a video of a street preacher went up to a transgender person, and he's like, "So who are you?" And she's like, "I'm they them." She's like, "What?" She's like, "I am many. We are legion." You know who? Yeah, she said that, and then she seemed like she was confused. She even said that. Let's look up where that "we are legion, we are many" comes from. I'll read you where that comes from. We are, and think about that. A transgender person, they them, they think they're multiple persons. So, legion, we are many. So I'll read the story set up so Jesus was teaching on the west side of the lake, but wanted to go over to the river to the other side. When they arrived on the shore of the town of Gadara, which is on the road to Damascus, they were immediately met by a wild man who lived in the tombs outside the city. This man was completely out of his mind and was so strong that no one could hold him down or tie him up. If they tied him up, he would just break out. If they chained him, he would just break out. When the man approached this is kind of like a summary in like translation. Like it's even giving me like the actual verses. Yeah. So when the man approached Jesus, Jesus then commanded the evil spirit within him to leave. So this is the verse. But when he saw Jesus after off, he ran and worshipped him. And he cried with a loud voice and said, "What have I done? What I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God?" Hold up. Oh, I think that's like the human literally like coming into consciousness, begging Jesus to help him. So upon having the unclean spirit acknowledge who he was and begging Jesus not to be tormented, Jesus asked his name. Oh, so that's the spirit saying like, "Don't send me back to hell." So, and he asked him, "What is thy name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many." So the thing with Legion, why I'm saying this, is when Jesus cast out Legion, they went into a herd of pigs, and all those pigs went off of the cliff. That gets into like unclean spirits. But what I'm basically trying to say is these demons exist and are really powerful. And for that transgender person, transgenderism also gets into the duality, which I was talking to you about, which is a high point of spiritual energy, which then you can say can open up portals to unwanted things. Since you're a very confused person, you can just allow whatever to come into your life. So the fact that transgender on that street was like, "I am Legion, we are many," and didn't even know what they said, was like confused about it. That is scary.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you think that person had any knowledge of that term?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird if they did.
Yeah, see, I just dropped some shit on you. That.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very autistic I am. The Bible.
Like, see, I just want to be able to know all the stories like that and stuff. Though. That's why I'm trying to get into it and just know a ton of stories.
You know, I've been doing research since I was 11 years old, if you can believe that, which I think my knowledge kind of proves. I've been doing research since I was 11. Independently. Yeah, people will be like, "Oh, I was just curious. I wanted to know about God. I wanted to know about these things. So I did my research."
Yeah.
And here's my thing about why I will always believe in God too. No matter what, you could be peeling my skin off being like, "Deny Lord." It doesn't make any other sense to me to believe in anything else. Nothing. When I compare what seems more fallible, God is by a mile. Wipes out the competition for me.
Nothing else really makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
You can argue that God doesn't make sense, and like goes back to the original point we said earlier. You can't understand it. Like it is impossible. It's unfathomable to understand God.
You can sit there for a million years trying to be like, how could God be? And you just wouldn't find out.
Yeah, as a human intellectual, you will never be able to comprehend a being of that power.
We don't comprehend shit as it is. We barely know how the brain works. We just know what chemicals it produces. We don't know how memories are stored. We only know about 8% of the ocean. I think 12. We only know like 5. We know more about space than we know about the fucking ocean. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that this is, but then we have to, because all that these things where we were taught in school, it's just information that was approved by the board of science. It's just, which is a board of science. All they're doing is they're sifting through information to be like, all right, this is real. We don't want this to be real. That's all science is. That's all what we've been taught. We're only going through one source of information.
Yeah.
And then that's why they want to condemn every other source of information. Say, oh, you're a fucking loon. You believe in bullshit. You're uneducated. Like, you're just educated from one person. Who are you to say I'm stupid?
What do you think about the firmament?
It could be many things. I don't think it's a water fucking...
Like a globe? You don't think we're in a globe
I don't think it's
with
like a water
above
force
us?
field.
Like that's what the sky is just water?
I think it's our atmosphere, because our atmosphere is water. That's all our atmosphere is. That's how clouds form. So like, I don't think it's a force field. I think the firmament is literally just atmosphere. Yeah, I don't think it's anything grander than that.
There's a lot of people that think that's why we can't go to like Mars and stuff, or there's never been any, or I don't know if that's the case.
So
but.
yeah, so you've probably heard people say we've only been to the moon once. I'm pretty sure that's heavily debunkable.
I don't know. For me personally, I don't think we went to the moon the original time, at least.
Not the original time. I think you kind of have to acknowledge. Well, they say that there's, Buzz Aldrin said that there's 2 videos. There was the Hollywood produced one that during the day that shit aired. That's what they showed to people. Then there's like the real version. Buzz Aldrin, the nigga who was on the moon, said that. So take that how you will. He said that on a Conan interview. If you guys even want to fact check me, bitch ass niggas. I'm just gonna... Nah.
Speaking of conspiracies too, while we're on that topic,
yeah.
What do you think about 9/11? I think that was an inside job. Personally, I think the U.S. wanted a reason to go kill Osama bin Laden.
I think the U.S. I think it's that, and they wanted a reason to invade the Middle East because we needed oil. Yeah, and then look how much oil we got from that. We were just extracting oil from there for like 20 years after that.
Yeah.
And I think that's literally just like we were needing oil. We were running out. Something drastic had to happen.
God, that is terrible. That's what had to happen.
Yeah. I think 9/11 could have also been that might have not necessarily even been America's plan. Like you can even
there was a third tower that was hit?
Yeah, Tower 7.
And no one talks about that.
Yeah, it's getting more it's getting more well known.
Yeah.
Tower 7 was a 3-letter agency building. Like the FBI, CIA, DIA, like they all had spots there, like home bases. And then like that building also had like a bunch of thermite in it too, like stored in the basement.
Yeah.
And it didn't get hit by a plane, it just blew up. And then since the chaos, niggas, dude, if you ask like people who were there at 9/11 thought like the country was getting invaded. Like it was just so much chaos that day. They literally thought like we were getting invaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's think about that.
That is crazy.
Yeah, like Luis Gomez, this comedian, he was rollerblading that day. He rollerbladed from like multiple New York islands for like he said he was like saw the towers. He went from like Queens all the way to like he rollerbladed for like 7 hours straight, just trying to escape New York.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how scared he was. He said he literally rollerbladed to the outskirts of New York when 9/11 happened because he thought the world was fucking ending. Just think about that. I don't know.
That's wild.
My thing too of conspiracies is we live in such a small world. Information is easy to hide.
That's
yeah.
Also, what I'm going to say about conspiracies is that conspiracy is only conspiracy until it's proven true, and everything.
That word didn't even exist until JFK assassination.
A conspiracy?
Yeah, conspiracy was not in the dictionary until the JFK assassination.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you know why? Because people were like, the JFK assassination was set up, and they were like, "You're a conspiracy theorist." So let's think about that. That root is already rooted in something that was an inside job. Yeah, but keep going with what you were saying.
what I was going to say is a conspiracy is only a conspiracy until it's proven true.
Yeah.
And with that said, everything that's been proven true was a conspiracy theory at one point.
Yeah, like the Gulf of Tonkin was that's what got us into Vietnam. It was a false flag attack on our own boats. That's in Cambodia, I believe, because we were not even supposed to be in Cambodia at the time. But our excuse was like we were passing by and we got shot at. But in reality, we got caught and they fucking were shooting at invaders. But we twisted it to JFK, and then the Bay of Pigs happened, which that was another conspiracy to have Cubans, we had Cubans go to Cuba and try to start killing a bunch of people. But then, Bay of Pigs, right? That's when that was one of the biggest fuck ups in the American military history.
I have no clue.
Yeah, that's what ruined JFK's reputation.
Damn.
As a president. Yeah, he got a bunch of people killed. He fucked up bad.
I feel like every president,
here's the thing of how was Castro so smart? He has survived 90 assassination. He was just some Cuban dude. Genius.
Wasn't he also a dictator?
Yeah.
One of the worst
That's
dictators?
what I'm saying. But you wouldn't think he would be so smart. He was a genius.
I feel like that's for most dictators though. Think about Hitler. He was very well spoken. He was one of the best leaders of all time.
Hitler, Germany, World War II. This is such a
think about how many people he got to follow him. That he was.
Did you know the Holocaust is that close to never happening?
How so?
Because the Havara Agreement.
What's that?
You haven't heard, dude? They didn't teach us about the Havara Agreement in school.
Dude, they didn't teach about anything worthwhile.
They didn't teach us about this insanely important.
I know nothing about Civil War I.
The Havara Agreement was an agreement between Nazi Germany and the Zionist German Jews, signed on August 25th, 1933. The agreement was finalized after 3 months of talks by the Zionist Federation of Germany. You know what Zionism is, right? That's the Jews.
It's like a religion, right?
No. That's what I tell you I don't support. It's a political sect of Judaism. So evil people.
Yeah, you were saying Trump kissed the wall.
You support Zionism. Yeah, the Argentinian president is and Zelensky are both Zionist puppets.
Huh.
But so Hitler met with the Zionist party and came up with a plan. Originally, you know what they were going to do with the Jews? Just send them out. They were just going to ship them off. You know who changed Hitler's mind? A Muslim. So also that gets into why Jews hate Palestinians. Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, talked about that, how he was known as the mufti of Jerusalem at the time, because Jerusalem, fun fact, has been controlled by the Muslims and the Jews and even Christians during the Crusade times. Jerusalem has been taken over by 8 different people. It's been taken over by the Muslims had it, then the Christians had it. Then the Muslims got it back again. Then during World War I, or pre-World War I, the Turkish took it. Then the British took it, and then the British gave it to the Jews. That's 6 people.
Jerusalem's such sacred land.
Yeah,
it's
mystic. People who go in the deserts of Israel say it's a vibe. The Mount Zion, it's you stand there and it's you feel the energy of that land. I want to go there too.
That would be awesome.
Dude, that's mystic. It's straight up mystic.
To literally be where there's been messages written from 2,000 plus years ago.
Miracles were performed in these areas. Feats of spiritual, magic pretty much was performed there.
There's always war going on there 24/7 though. Even when there's not war.
Oh yeah, no, there's never not. I'm telling you right now, there's never not been a conflict. Yeah, I can say that with confidence.
Because the Hamas Jewish wars going on right now.
Yeah, but even before, it's never.
Or Israel.
Israel has been been fucking with Palestine forever. Yeah, but back to how
that's
the Holocaust,
Jerusalem, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hitler met with this Muslim guy, and he was not kill them. I don't want them, because I think they were going to try to send them to Israel. And then that guy ended up being no. And then he literally wrote up the plan on how to eradicate Jews with Hitler, in one night.
That's crazy.
Not talked about in school.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm telling you, bro.
It's weird that they don't, because the Muslim religion wasn't even very big until the last few years, I feel like. I guess it was pretty big.
No, you're right. Think about it. Muslims were not worldwide. Think about it. How many Muslims were in America during World War II?
Not very,
none.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all in like one area.
Now I feel like it's very popular in America. Not popular, I guess, but it's very.
England, the highest population in England's Muslim. It's not even white people anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy.
England's fucked up as a country. That immigration destroyed that country.
I mean, immigration's destroying our country.
Immigration
hasn't the effects of immigration haven't happened.
We are gonna feel.
We're gonna face the effects here soon.
Immigration's chaos theory. Are you familiar with chaos theory?
Nope.
It's you cause a lot of problems in one area, so you can like have something kind of be low key in another. You create distractions, and like you're causing
do all the time.
Yeah, no, immigration's chaos theory. You know why? Because immigration's funded, dude. If you go,
we were funding like human trafficking at the border too.
Oh yeah, dude. I was telling my mom about this. If you go into some of these Mexican markets around here, there's ads. It's like Travel Norte. It's an ad that says you can take a bus from Baja, California, all the way to Washington. What? That's sketch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, who's like confirming this?
It's also crazy that in New York they're about to be giving without identification $10,000 credit cards.
Homeless people don't get that.
Debit cards.
Why don't we give that to homeless people?
Yeah, why don't we spend all the money that we're sending over to
We're
Ukraine?
putting immigrants with $10,000 prepaid debit cards, free housing, free health. Homeless people get none of that. Veterans. don't even get that.
Yeah.
Shit. That's evil. I think that's a paradox. Like the fact that we're living in this day of age and that's happening, immigrants are getting more rights than American citizens. We lost the plot. Well, this tells me the government doesn't control us. Corporations control the world. It's called corporate libertarianism. It's Cyberpunk. You ever played that game or heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Basically, it's like this corporations get so powerful. It's just how it is now. They own all the money. The American dollar fucking circulates through megacorps. Megacorps literally. Okay, well then also the thing why megacorps run everything is they own everything. They own everything down to like fucking clouds, nigga. Like they own the piece of land you're on. They own. It's what's funny too is corporations, they all own each other. So it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
But there's one person at the center.
Isn't there like 7 big families or what? Isn't there like a certain what are the big
The Divine
families?
Nine. It's the Divine Nine.
That own basically everything.
Rockefellers, Rothschilds.
And then there's like 5 unknown.
Oppenheimer. They say fucking they say Napoleon Bonaparte's family's in it because apparently the Bonapartes are the founder of the FBI. I don't know about that one though. I like to play devil's advocate with people though. Like I do.
I am too. I love that.
I do that with my coworkers. Like I remember
to play devil's advocate.
My one coworker is a hard Republican. And he supports like Israel and everything. I was like, Greg. I was like, how do you feel about the circumcision tradition that Jews do, where they suck the blood off the penis after they circumcise it? That's an actual tradition. I'll look it up. Let me just give you the term so people
What's funny is that
viewers don't think I'm lying.
I wrote down something about that.
Yeah.
About circumcision, because Abram was told by God.
Dude, he had to do it when he was like 80.
Well,
okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this real quick. Some of my notes. God creates covenant with Abram to have kids. Abram that he will have or will be a father of many nations. God asked Abram to mark the covenant on his sons, which is circumcision. So the covenant of the covenant.
But here's the thing: me and you follow the covenant of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. We don't abide by that covenant. That's an old covenant. We're New Testament, New Covenant. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. And then also,
what's the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament? Because it's all in the same Bible.
Yeah, well, they both apply because Moses is Old Testament, right? Mm-hmm. They both apply. They very much both apply, but it's just like the New Testament is meant for like God saw we needed something. He needed to change some stuff up because the covenant he established with Abraham was perfect for that time period, but the new covenant was really good for Jesus' time period. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing of Jesus is the reason why we also needed that new covenant is because humanity was just kind of doomed at that point. We were all so sinful. Yeah, so it's just and also that thing of circumcision, I don't know why that even was established with Abraham. Maybe it was because STDs didn't spread or something. People just didn't know how to clean their stuff, so God was just here's how you guys can reproduce easier. It could have just literally been like a fertility fertility strat that God gave to Abraham. Because think about how much dust you're in the desert with a hood on. Think about how much dust they were walking around. They were dragging.
Yeah, that shit was raw.
They were dragging it. They were letting their nuts hang, bro.
Okay.
Let your nuts hang. That's what they were doing. Yeah. You think they had underwear? They were like robes.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they didn't wear clothes until I guess actually Adam and Eve. They were naked until she ate the fruit, and then once she ate the fruit, that's when she realized that basically their
nakedness.
Yeah, their nakedness. So it is.
You know that thing with like Adam and Eve, like. You know what's really crazy about that? Look, with the analogy of them losing, like gaining, like think about it like this. Adam and Eve were like some of the OG Nephilim. They were some of the OG giants. Like if you like just think about it, they didn't come from normal man. Like literally, they came from like magical. Mm-hmm. They were probably like, and also they weren't physical beings. Like sex wasn't a thing. Pain wasn't a thing. Yeah. Hunger wasn't a thing. It wasn't until they ate the fruit where that flesh, that worldly flesh, literally like grafted onto them. Once they all the sins of the world came upon them. It almost like it opened it up. It opened that up for them. But yeah, it was just always kind of cool to think about that. Like, people were saying like Adam and Eve were probably like some of the first like super beings. Like this, like they lived like 900 years.
Yeah. It is crazy to think about all the timelines of older people in the Bible and everything. All of them have super insane timelines.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, which is completely different than what we're talking about currently, but LeBron and his like tattoo.
Oh yeah, good thing you brought that up. Yeah, the Belay Society. Yeah, if you guys were to Google right now, LeBron James chest tattoo. He has a tattoo of a lion with wings, so like a sphinx, with his arm on top of his arm kind of resting upon. Like I guess you can call it like a declaration of like this, like a letter. But the thing about that tattoo is it's insanely similar. It's literally pretty much bar for bar, except for like a couple minor details changed. It's based out of Cleveland, so like you can see why LeBron has ties to it. Mm-hmm. Of the Black Belay Society, which is it's a fraternity a fraternity specifically for black people.
Yeah.
And LeBron James like went to the college where they're set up and everything. But the thing about this society is that they have ties to Margaret Singer, Planned Parenthood. Like some of the founders of the Belay Society met up with Margaret Singer back when she did that shit. And like Bishop Larry Gators, at least, he likes to kind of talk to them as like they're big sellouts. They were like the original sellouts of black people. Like they were the ones that like met up with like the white leaders and said like, we'll allow you guys to come into our community and do this. Well, they're the ones who are responsible for giving medical, like the pharmaceutical exemptions for black people, like where black people used to get tested on for pharmaceuticals. Like the Belay Society approved that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you just got,
Didn't you say there's multiple other societies though, and the Belay Society is like the newest one, kind of?
Yeah, well, because with secret societies, so I guess this is completely like sources from another person, so take this with a grain of salt, I guess you could say. Allegedly, of secret societies today, there's kind of a civil war going on. You got the boomers, the people who've been in this shit from way back in the day, the old blood, the old rich white people who are kind of racist. Like they do their thing, they're old school and the way they do things, warmongers, your typical shit. But then you got your new school of like Illuminati, secret society people who are like younger millennials who are kind of more woke, more SJW. I guess you can say this is why like you'll see more black people included more in like commercials, black people giving more prominent positions in like film. People say the reason why you see more inclusivity with like diversity and things today is because that's the new secret societies incorporating that. To make the old secret societies mad because they don't agree eye to eye on everything. Kind of a cool concept, but I don't know how you could possibly support that. There's really no way you can really have any evidence for that, except for this being like context clues. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no hard evidence for that, but it's definitely a cool theory. Yeah.
What other societies are like the people that went to the Bohemian Grove? Like, what type of society is that?
That's not Well, you can say secret societies all have one master, which is like the devil, and then certain ones kind of have.
Yeah. So that's I'm gonna speak on that real quick. All these different societies, they have their own god per se, but this god can just be one of the devil's angels, like a fallen angel, right?
Well, that's super. Dude,
like it doesn't necessarily have to be the devil. It could be like one of the angels, right?
Well, they could be devils. Well, think about it. Lucifer's the head honcho. Devil, Beelzebub, those are just different names for different
so there's
demons.
multiple different devils?
Yes, there's multiple different, like, there's a hierarchy of demons.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so, what was I about to say? Wait, run back 30 seconds, because I just brain farted.
I asked there was multiple different devils, because I thought...
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, well, this verse, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but what with wickedness and principalities. That word, principalities, if you were to look up what is a principality is literally an order of angels. So yeah, literally like a platoon of a squad of angels. So the Bible's literally saying like our biggest enemy is fallen angels, not even demons. Which there's a lot of evidence that supports fallen angels have kind of been the enemy this entire time. Like they're the reason why Nephilim were our biggest enemy at one point, was because they interbred with humans. And then they also say the torturers of hell are going to be specifically fallen angels because they hate humanity the most. Because that's also Lucifer's doctrine, is he hates humans. So they
Why
kind
would
of
he hate us?
Lucifer hates humans because you can say angels are below humans in a sense, because they weren't made in God's image. And the fact that Lucifer was kind of supposed to be the most beautiful angel, and then God made us and he sees us as the most beautiful, it's just jealousy.
Yeah.
And then God also has a lot of promises for us he didn't really give Lucifer. Just think about it.
Does the Bible...
He's jealous. Yeah.
Does the Bible talk about angels that aren't fallen, like actually good angels?
Yeah, like Michael, Gabriel. Yeah, there's angels who have like they're like there's angels who like did stuff in the Bible. Like you got the two angels who went and took out a bunch of pedophiles in Sodom and Gomorrah. They're the two angels that went and let out. They were
So can we even really comprehend what an angel is either? Because that's just like another...
They actually give you really good descriptions of angels in the Bible.
Okay. So
yeah, it's kind of weird.
A description of that.
They give you like names, ranks. Like it's canon too. Like cherubim. Cherubim, I believe, is what a Lucifer is. Cherubim have like 4 wings, the head of a lion, the head of a crocodile. They're just like a chimera, like a chimera of just animals. But like you gotta think about, they're just like all for... Well, you just gotta think about like, who knows? Like they just look crazy, but they're also like shapeshifters. They have like abilities. Yeah, really powerful.
When I think of shapeshifters, I think of like skinwalkers. Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Do you think those are real?
I'm not really a big cryptid guy. Like cryptids are kind of goofy to me. Like
What's
that's
that?
a cryptid. Cryptozoology is like Sasquatch, Nessie, the Loch Ness monster, Mothman, like Skinwalker, Wendigo. Those are all it's called cryptozoology. It's legends of monsters, and those are always just kind of goofy to me. Yeah, some of them are kind of creepy, but then like
I feel like the most real logical one is like Sasquatch.
The only thing for me is like people go missing in the woods completely
There's a lot.
Have you looked at like the charts like of America?
It's in Washington State.
Have you heard of missing
411?
Yeah, see, missing 401. The how many people in certain areas? It's always in the same area. It's always it's a bunch of people. It's like it'll be like 200 people in one area will go missing like throughout the years, and then like it'll be in the highly dense forested area.
And they'll
where like
search.
You can't even really get
search a ton too though. Like a lot of these search parties will go out and be looking for a long time and find no trace whatsoever.
Well, that's the thing too. Like we think American forests are bad. Like you go to Canada, like we're like Canada. Like, a big thing people don't really realize about Canada is like Ottawa, like the big cities. Once you get those cities, like for like hundreds and hundreds of miles, it's just woods. Canada is mostly woods. Fun fact. And if you get lost in those woods, you're literally never getting found. So who knows what's out there?
Yeah, that's crazy to think about too.
No,
what about Drake Bell? I don't know anything about that either.
I need to watch the interview.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. I just heard he
that
got
shit's crazy.
molested.
It's so they all got molested. Dude, you know how many Disney Channel, Nickelodeon stars are just either dead, on drugs, or just fucked up? Like, all of them. From, like, the early 2000s, 90s. Because Dan Schneider, a bunch of famous producers were just... Niggas knew what they were doing going into kid shows, bro. They knew what they wanted. Yeah. They were weirdos,
I suppose. That's one thing that Republicans really lack is they have no creatives, really. Outside of, like, social media debaters and stuff, they do not have anyone in Hollywood at all.
Well, it's because they're really closed-minded people. I mean, like, down to the core of it. Like, you think of a Republican, you think of, like, someone who's just not really open-minded. There's someone that's not really open-minded to new ideas, new things. They judge people.
Is so weird. I feel that way about liberals. I feel like they're
because
like,
it goes both ways. Bro, it's two sides of the same coin. Liberal and Democrat and Republican are this day and age. It's two sides of the different coin.
Or two sides of the same coin. I guess when I think of open-minded, I just really think about coming down to sitting down and having conversations. And I feel like Republicans are more likely to do that than liberals are. Like, sit down and talk.
Yeah, some of them are, but then a lot of them aren't. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm just trying to say. Like, you say, like, Republicans don't really seem too creative. And, okay, well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of, like, YouTubers and stuff are this low-key Republican. They just can't go out and say it. Yeah, and if they do, they're like forced to go into maybe a sect of people they just don't want to associate with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I can definitely see why some people keep it low key. Like if I started like Twitch streaming and stuff, and I was a Republican, I probably wouldn't say I was. Mm-hmm. I'd probably keep it secret. Yeah, I used to back when I used to say I was, but you know what's funny? When I came to the conclusion I hated politics. I was sitting in the Home Depot parking lot in Wenatchee. I was just on the phone with Elias, the big homie, and I was just like, you know what? I just hate the government. I was like, I'm not a big fan of the government. I just was ranting. I'm like, you take everything. It's everything I know. I just can't get over it. I can't accept it. Yeah, it drives me crazy.
I mean, it's all corrupt.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, you really can't change it unless you're going to be the change yourself. So
let's talk about voting real quick. Let's talk about how, like, why I said I don't think voting matters. Because I'll explain to you why I don't think. Because I don't think I really got to speak my mind.
Okay, well, explain it.
Are you familiar with the Electoral College? They did teach this in school. You just got to remember it.
Yeah. No, I know.
The founding fathers literally set up voting because they set up voting acknowledging that they did not trust the common man to vote. They literally acknowledged that they thought we were too stupid to vote on our own. So the Electoral College, basically, to even be accepted into that college, you have to be of very high class wealth and knowledge. You're like, it's like Trump's cousin. It's like you're related to a president. And you don't even, by the way, it's a secret whoever even gets in. You're not allowed to know, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't the Electoral College just the states?
No.
Each state has like
No. It's a group of people that meet up and vote on like election night. It's like literally meetings. And like they literally, like, your votes are, so basically how they vote is based off suggestions. Like they're like, it's like a jury almost. Like it's like a jury, like thinking like a jury come together being like, is this guy guilty? It's like, should we vote for Trump? Mm-hmm. The people will like, because like, think about like the Electoral College, like I just said, are really wealthy, powerful people. So they probably have like stock. They probably have like reasons why they want certain presidents to get elected.
Yeah.
Well, I'm basically trying to say it's fucking rigged, bro. It's rigged.
Like
our votes go through them. They get filtered. That's what I was trying to say.
I thought the Electoral College was just each state has a certain amount of Electoral College votes. So like, say Washington State has like 10 votes, and then California has like 28 because its population is bigger.
That's like that's part of it. The other part is like our votes, like when you get down to the meat and potatoes, like the intentions and like all like the shit, like it's rigged. It's a rigged voting system. It's literally, that's all it is.
So you think the popular vote should be how it's done?
That's how. Honestly, yeah. I mean, but it's just never really been done that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think it should be done that way, because I just think of the popular vote's always going to go to the left side because the dense cities are always lean left.
That's the thing. With
if you look at all these dense cities, all of them are shitty. Like, look at how most...
Well, now you sound like the Illuminati, though, because that's literally why the Illuminati was formed. This was because they were like, the true origins of the Illuminati back in France was so they could make sure a government doesn't get too powerful or something. They're like, we gotta control this. Yeah, and that's why a bunch of countries kicked them out. Or no, France kicked... Pretty sure France outlawed the Illuminati like way back in like the 1800s.
Who do you think runs the government, the U.S. government? Do you think it's really the president?
No, it's not.
You think there's definitely higher ups, huh?
Well, Congress runs. Our president is just a face for us to look to. Yeah. Congress really runs because the Senate votes.
Everything's got to pass.
And then we don't even know who's on that shit. They keep it so low key because they don't want you to know on purpose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, nah. And then Putin has that one famous quote where he talks about how the
men in black.
Yeah, the men in black suits and black briefcases sit you down and say, this is how you're going to do it. And if not, kick rocks. Yeah.
See, I really don't think Putin has a reason to lie either about that.
Putin was definitely not lying. I think Putin's probably a very truthful person.
Yeah. I don't think he's a great person, but I do think he's...
Great, just because you... no, he's not a good person. He is a great person. He's just not a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because great people aren't good.
That's not always the case.
Not always, but a lot of great people did bad things.
Like, we were talking about this, how I kind of want to be a politician.
Yeah.
And then you were saying, well, if you do that, you're going to end up being corrupted at some sort.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as like, I don't know. Ben Carson. Are you familiar with Dr. Ben Carson?
Yeah.
I like Ben Carson a lot.
Republican, black guy.
I don't think he's corrupt. He's like the one guy who always is like says some shit. But here's the thing. He's like nowhere near power. Mm-hmm. He's just in government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Vivek Ramaswamy?
Black Rock Shell. Black major plant. Yeah.
Oh,
major
actually,
wordsmith.
What's in on this?
Yeah.
You said you think Andrew Tate's a CIA op.
Andrew Tate definitely has his dad. Just the fact that his dad was involved in the CIA, wasn't he like a translator?
Yeah, he learned like he could learn like a language a week, like crazy smart.
His dad was just like insanely autistic, wasn't he?
I don't know.
He was like a
grandmaster at chess, and literally learned like a new language in 2 weeks.
No, his dad was insane.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude.
I mean, if you look at Andrew and Tristan, look at how articulate they are and how smart they talk and everything. You can tell that they have a strong lineage.
Like I like Tristan, honestly.
I like both of them, but I really wish I could have heard his dad talk.
I just wish they weren't doing human trafficking.
Dude, I do not think they're human traffickers.
Honestly, I don't even want to get into it. Who knows? Yeah, but no. Let's take being the CIA. Honestly, like, he has a lot of enemies. He has too many enemies for him to really be an asset like that.
Yeah.
I think there was attempts on his life when he got all sick.
Oh, I do
I think he got poisoned.
I don't know how he's still alive.
I don't know either. Because now he just keeps low key, doesn't he? Like, you don't see him.
I mean, no, he's
Did you know he has like a YouTube channel that's like under a complete name? All he does is review cars. He doesn't mention who he is. He has like a low key YouTube channel that he has to like completely dissociate from, or else he'll get banned.
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang, that has to be someone new then, I'm guessing, or a couple years old, or something.
It's a couple years old. It was already pre-established. It's just not a lot of people know about it. It's like his passion channel.
And he still makes videos on there.
Allegedly, yeah. I haven't really looked into it. I've heard it was real. So yeah, I'm just saying that, hearing that it was real. I haven't confirmed it for myself.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna end this by asking you: are you still gonna come to church with me this Sunday?
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I got nothing going on.
Check it out. So.
Where are we going?
Grace City.
Yeah, I want to.
All right. Well, Elijah, thank you for coming on the podcast, bro.
Let's look at.
And this is my boy Elijah. I think we had a great conversation today. We talked about much, and we probably could have talked about.
This is way better than part one. I think.
I don't even remember what we talked about in part one. Honestly.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. I think
this we got deep into.
Yeah,
stuff,
we got I've just expanded my knowledge on things so much more compared. That was like 2 years ago now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Not 2 years, I guess.
Almost 2 years. It was like a year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's going to do it for today's pod. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all if y'all made it this far. So that's going to do it.
Make sure to subscribe.
Peace out, boys.
Subscribe to my boy.
Peace out. Y'all.